Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Scott County High School. Mike Ritchie along with the Governor, Mark Walls. Get set to bring you one heck of a football game. Number 1 ranked Pulaski County Maroons, the defending 5A state champion. Make the trip from Somerset over here to Lexington, Kentucky, and then on down to Georgetown to take on your Scott County Cardinals. Battle of 2 top 5 ranked teams. Pulaski County number 1 in the state. Scott County ranked in the top 5. Should be a good one. Pulaski County comes in with a record of 1-0. They defeated Jeffersonville, Indiana, 64-35 last week. Scott County 1-0 as well as they manhandled Tates Creek 46-6. We'll do this. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We're about 5 minutes away from kickoff. We'll go into some details about both teams and much more. You're watching Scott County football exclusively on the Scott County Sports Network.
Time for oral surgery. You need a surgeon you can trust and feel at home with. Consider Dr. Robert Henderson at Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery. Specializing in wisdom teeth extraction, surgery to prepare for dentures, biopsies, corrective jaw surgery, TMJ disorders, and dental implants. All outpatient procedures are performed right here in our office. We participate with most insurance, we offer care credit, and take care of all the paperwork. Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery will give you a lot to smile about.
Scott County Physical Therapy is a privately owned physical therapy practice specializing in outpatient orthopedics, sports and industrial rehab, neurological rehabilitation, low back pain, neck pain, and arthritic conditions. Our mission is to provide the highest quality physical therapy to assist each individual and the community at large. Scott County Physical Therapy, a journey to wellness. To contact the physical therapist and Scott County Physical Therapy, please dial 502-863-4242. Scott County Physical Therapy is the title sponsor for Scott County Athletics.
Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. Mike Ritchie, Mark Walls, Toby Murray, Kevin Ritchie. We're the Scott County Sports Network. And Mark, this is one of those games where you think about it all week long, and you're like, finally, we're going to see a good home football game. This could be a doozy, couldn't it?
It really could, Mike. You know, Pulaski comes in off their state championship run. Scott County got ousted early in the 6A playoffs, earlier than what they're used to over the past couple years. But, you know, this is 2 potent offenses that are going to come together. And I think it's going to be really one on the defensive side of the football as to who can keep the other team out of the end zone the most often. Because, like I said, you know, last week Pulaski County manhandled Jeffersonville and just destroyed them on the offensive side. They only had a total 250 yards total offense. So it's going to be interesting to see what their defense does against Scott County's offense. And then conversely, you know, Scott County's defense really wasn't tested last week. It's kind of hard to tell, so they're still kind of up in the air as to what they're going to be able to do.
Yeah, you know, the thing about it is when you talk about Pulaski County, there's one name that comes to mind first. It's not the head coach. It's Riley Hall. Riley Hall had a heck of a football game last week. He had 5 touchdown passes, had 2 touchdowns running. And what's more impressive, he missed 6 games last year, but still threw for over 2,000 yards in their 5A state championship games. But he's the player you look at when you first look at Pulaski County, right?
Well, you really do. But the thing that sticks out besides all the touchdowns to me, Mike, was he was 26 of 30. So he is not only able to put the ball in the end zone, but he's accurate when he goes back and throws. So it's going to be interesting to watch Monty McIntyre tonight and what he does on the defensive side of the football. You know, last week the Tates Creek quarterback, even though they didn't put very many points up, did a pretty nice job of hitting some receivers. Special teams caused them a problem. But like I said, it's going to be interesting to see what Monty McIntyre has worked on all week to kind of try to corral Mr. Hall and put some pressure on him.
And, Mark, I think the biggest thing with Scott County, just to give you my 2 cents worth, the biggest thing with Scott County is you got to realize that Pulaski County is a potent enough team. They're going to score on you. They're going to make some big plays. You just got to kind of hold them and stop them. So I think it's going to be a matter of wills. Who makes the big defensive stop when it matters most? Because both teams can light up the scoreboard, and both teams have great defenses.
Well, that's true. And the one thing that if you're Pulaski County's coach, Johnny Hines, that you've got to be a little bit worried about is if you look at 11 penalties for over 100 yards last week in a big win over Jeffersonville, he knows he can't come in and make those kind of mistakes here tonight against a potent offense of Scott County. So, you know, it's going to be interesting to also watch, Mike, who makes the mistakes, and not only who makes them, but where they make them on the field.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Scott County had quite a few penalties last week, but they had some big penalties, a couple of roughing the punter kicks and things like that they're going to make big plays as well.
Yeah, they run special teams. You know, the good thing about Scott County from a penalty perspective, they didn't have a one penalty on the offensive line last week against Tates Creek, and for a young offensive line, that was impressive. That's what stood out to me most about the offense last week.
You know, and the thing about it is, when you look at Scott County's game last week, you said the guys that were supposed to do well did well. The defense played well from top to bottom. We had a lot of tackles for loss, a lot of sacks, things of that nature. Scott County's offense. The thing that reminds me the most I was impressed with Scott County's offense is how many times did we mention Josh Davis's name in a negative light? 0.
That's what I'm saying. First game as a starter, as a varsity starter, he did exactly what he's supposed to in this offense. You're supposed to run the offense, keep control of the game, get the ball to the playmakers. And you're right, Mike, when you look at it, 10.4, 11.8, 9.5. Those are three of your main ball carriers. That was their per yard average last week against States Creek. Keith Guy, Mr. Football candidate, only ends up with 73 yards, but he only had 7 carries.
Right.
And averaged over 10 yards a carry. So look for him to be a little bit more of a workhorse here tonight, I think. And don't forget about Noah Hughes. He averaged 3.8. And again, we talk about that. That's a big 3.8 because that sets up the rest of the offense if he's getting at least 3 to 4 yards on that fullback dive.
And then the other guy that kind of come out unknown, nobody knew anything about, was Glenn Covington. The freshman had a well of a ball game.
He really did, and there was a lot of excitement, and he proved everybody right. Let's hope he can come back. Pulaski County's watched game tape, so it'll be interesting to see how he reacts because he's not the unknown, and he's not going to be the unknown the rest of the year.
And the thing about him, 6 catches for 86 yards and a touchdown, but they threw him balls where they expected him to go make plays, and what did he do?
He made plays.
Yeah.
He went up and took the ball away. That's what was impressive to me the most was his hands and his feet, and I'm not talking about his all-out speed, but the lateral quickness east to west was just impressive because, he was getting a 10 to 15-yard cushion as a freshman in his first varsity game.
So Pulaski County wearing the road white uniforms with black pants. Scott County in the home red with white pants. Pulaski County will be kicking off to the south end zone. Kicking off for them will be Derek Burgett, a 6'1", 190-pound senior. Back for Scott County, Keith Guy and Dylan Smith. And ladies and gentlemen, you better hope you got something to eat. Use the bathroom because this one's going to be a good one. Special teams is going to be a huge factor right here. Burgett's kick is going to go force Keith Guy into the end zone. So Scott County back at you. Scott County's Tyler Dummer kicked the ball in the end zone 4 times last week. Scott County sees one return back to them in the end zone. And I think that's a big difference when you look at Pulaski County. Of course, some of the bigger 6A teams in Lexington that Scott County face, Pulaski County has special teams, kicker and punter, and all the Lexington schools pretty much struggle in that area.
Well, and if you look at last week's game, that was Tate's Creek's downfall. Their special teams really put them a hole they weren't able to cover because, like I said, their quarterback threw the ball decent enough that but you can't keep starting in a hole and giving Scott County starting position at midfield, which is what Tate's Creek did. Here, they're 1st and 10 on the 20. They've got to go 80 yards.
Josh Davis with a quick give up the middle to Noah Hughes. Pretty much the set starting play for Scott County. Noah Hughes picks up 2 yards, 2nd down and 8.
And Mason Helton was on that tackle, the inside linebacker. And their linebacker core, Mike, is the strength of that defense from what looking at the stats from last week and the number of tackles that their linebacking core had, 8, 9, 15. So
around the right side, Keith Guy splits defenders, alley-oops over top of defender for a 1st down, pickup of 10 yards, and there goes that 10-yard average. Keith Guy making people miss.
Well,
and it seems like he's running in slow motion.
And he's like a knife going through hot butter because you sit there and think there's no way he can get through that crease, and the next thing you know, he's 2 yards behind the crease.
So Josh Davis under center. Glenn Covington down to the bottom of your screen. In motion, Kendrick Hamilton. Josh Davis, quick pitch left side to Keith Guy. 1 man miss, 2 men miss. And he's going to go over top of another defender, pick up 12 yards, and that'll be another Scott County 1st down. So Keith Guy, 1st down maker for Scott County.
And that's George Gregory, the senior cornerback, on the tackle right there. And but now he doesn't hit him until he's 8 yards down the field.
So keep an eye for Jesse Whitaker. He had a heck of a game last week. 15 tackles, 10 solos, 5 for loss, 2 sacks for Pulaski County. Quick give up the middle. And a good read there by Pulaski County's number 44.
That's Helton, middle linebacker, inside linebacker, Mason Helton.
So Noah Hughes, 1st negative yardage of the season. And you don't get our fullback dive play. You don't bust it up and cause Scott County to lose yards. Not very often does that happen.
Not very often.
So on the upper side, Glenn Covington, Kendrick Hamilton on the right edge, and Coach McKee says, I'll take a timeout. So with 10:35 to go, Scott County moving. They have the football on their own 43-yard line. They take a timeout. We'll take a timeout as well. We're scoreless here in Scott County on Toyota Stadium, iHigh.com field. We'll be back right after this. The Shanghai Express Chinese Restaurant is a locally owned restaurant located in the Indian Acres Shopping Center in Georgetown, Kentucky. Tony would like to invite everyone to come on by and dine in the spacious dining room that can host groups both small and large. Shanghai Express has been voted the best Chinese restaurant in Georgetown, Kentucky multiple years in a row by the Georgetown News Graphic. Stop by the restaurant or give Tony a call at 502-868-6858 to enjoy the best Chinese food in Central Kentucky.
Sports Connection is your team and retail sporting goods and custom athletic apparel supplier. Sports Connection is located next to Kroger in the Washington Square Shopping Center in Georgetown. Sports Connection can outfit your team from hats to shoes and everything in between.
Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. Josh Davis. Hand off to Keith Guy going right side. Splits defenders again. And what's Keith Guy do? He makes one man miss. Big gain for Scott County's Keith Guy. And pickup of about 29 yards.
And Jake New makes a touchdown saving tackle right there, the junior safety for the Maroons.
Here comes our team physician just coming into the building. Dr. Ben Lyon, how you doing, sir? 10:20 to go. First down for Scott County. Scott County's fourth first down of the drive. Opening possession here. Scott County moving. Up the middle. They fake the handoff to Noah Hughes. Josh Davis makes one guy miss. Gets the corner. And wisely, Mark. Smart quarterback, smart kid. What's he do? He gets out of bounds.
Yeah, Jason Moberly pushes him out of bounds. Nice job right there for him to get to the corner. Didn't have to do that much last week. That's one thing he brings to that position. He does have the ability to get to the outside and make some people miss.
Yeah, and he made that end right there. He made him miss. Once he missed, that gave him 10 yards. Or 5-yard pickup.
Big drive here for Scott County in this game, Mike, because if they can put points on the board on the first one, they're kind of telling Pulaski County this ain't going to be an easy road game.
Josh Davis, right side handoff to Keith Guy. This time he doesn't get through the defender's flag on the play. Yeah, that's usually in the spot of holding. We'll see. Didn't get a chance to get the officials' names tonight. So it's Mr. Referee is what we're going to refer to him as he checks to see what the penalty is. Dylan Smith coming in for Keith Guy. We have holding against Scott County. That's going to be a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
Well, and just mark this down. Just look where that occurred, Mike, down in the red zone. So
Scott County, instead of having it second down and 4, it's going to be second down and 14. Kim Hutton, the PA announcer, says 13. So he's never wrong. So we'll go second down and 13 for Scott County. Glenn Covington right side. Josh Davis under center. On the left wing, Dylan Smith for Scott County. Josh Davis back to pass, going left side. Has Kendrick Hamilton open in the flat. He makes the grab. And again, Mark, we always talk about it. You don't see a lot of passing from Scott County. But one of the things about the wing tee is every play has a pass option off of it. And Scott County successfully picks up 9 yards there. And it'll be second down and about 6.
That's a new wrinkle off that inside handoff, because I'm going to say I hope that was a pass play from the get-go, or Josh Davis made a great audible because they had the inside handoff covered.
Well, I can tell you right now, Josh Davis, as a sophomore, there ain't no audibles.
Well, it was a good play call because they had the inside handoff covered.
So quick give up the middle to Noah Hughes with the fake and the keep.
That's Keith Guy.
In the hands of Keith Guy. Keith Guy right at the yard marker for the first down. Might be about a half a yard short.
And Whitaker gets his name called for the first time. The other inside linebacker. They've had two great inside linebackers with Whitaker and Helton.
And the big guy, Mark, the nose guard for Pulaski County. Pretty big man.
255.
So fourth and inches.
Daniel Mink.
Fourth and inches for Scott County. Covington to the right side. One-on-one coverage. Josh Davis with the quarterback sneak. A la Clay McKee style. And that's one thing that Coach McKee has said. Fourth and inches, he's going quarterback sneak, isn't he? He doesn't care about the big Mink kid, 255.
No, he's not going to do anything on short other than let the big quarterback try to pick it up, and they do. That's a good recovery off that penalty, Mike, because like I said, it comes back to the same thing you talked about. What happens when Pulaski scores, because you know they're going to score, how do you react? First sense of adversity on the holding penalty, we turn around and pick up the first down, so it's got to feel good if you're wearing red tonight.
And that's the thing Scott County has to realize, and Pulaski as well, they're not used to teams scoring on them either. So 1st and 10, Scott County on the 21-yard line. Left side, Kendrick Hamilton runs into some defenders. Gets inside the 10-yard line. Tackle Mason Helton for Pulaski County.
Well, and I'll tell you what, that's a big Kendrick Hamilton likes to hit you. So, once he clears, now it's going to be interesting because it's been a couple years since he's played that running back spot. He actually outran his blockers. Just wait till he develops that patience, as we've seen over the years. What's going to happen?
2nd and 1. Look for Covington right here. Instead, they're giving it to Noah Hughes. He's going to pick up. He's down to the 1 or 2 yard line. Noah Hughes down to the 1. He's going to pick up 6 yards.
And he carries Jackson Moberly for about 3.
So it'll be 1st and goal, Scott County. Scott County knocking on the door. Scott County last week, very efficient inside the red zone, 6 of 7. 5 touchdowns and 1 field goal for Scott County. So it'll be 1st and goal, Scott County at the 1 yard line. Scott County, Pulaski County, Friday night football in the Bluegrass. We're going to get a flag, going to get an offside penalty against Pulaski County. That's going to be a half-yard penalty against the Maroons.
A penalty against the Maroons.
So it'll be 1st and about a half a yard. That's one of those, if you're an official, just say, look, they're that close, let's don't throw the flag. Takes too much time. We got to go eat, don't we, Toby? Hand off to Hughes up the middle, and he's stuffed.
Wow. That's Daniel Mink and the 2 inside linebackers, Helton and Whitaker.
Hughes on the carry, no gain on the play.
So no gain on the quick give to Noah Hughes. Under 7 minutes to go, 1st quarter. What a packed crowd we have tonight. It's National Guard. It's their gridiron battle of the week. It's youth football night. That brings about 9,000 kids out here, which is what we want. Noah Hughes met at the line of scrimmage again, and he's stuffed.
That's twice in a row, and again, that's Helton and Whitaker. And
so now here's the thing, Mark, I got to ask you. Does your pride come in right here and say, look, you can't stop this fullback dive 3 times in a row, or you look for a wrinkle here?
I look for the fullback fake dive and the quarterback sprinting around the outside if I'm coaching.
Well, you're coaching on the broadcast, so we'll go with that one.
I think you fake the fullback dive, and Josh takes it around the end.
Yeah, look for Glenn Covington up to the right. He's in solo coverage. Hughes, mano a mano. I'm going again. Noah Hughes with the touchdown for Scott County. 6:04 to go in the 1st quarter. And Mark, what a drive for the Cardinals. They go 80 yards, overcome a holding penalty, and score.
Well, that's a big statement because you're telling Pulaski County right off that you're here to play football and you're here to win and protect your home turf, like I said. And the big thing about it was coming back from the holding penalty. That could have stalled the drive, but they came back and picked up the 1st down.
So Alex Miller, the short snapper, to Abney. Tyler Dummer's kick is up, and it's on the edge, and they're going to say it's no good. So the first break for Pulaski County. Scott County goes 80 yards and scores. Tyler Dummer's kick is no good. 6:04 to go, 1st quarter. Scott County 6, Pulaski County nothing. We'll be back right after this on the Scott County Sports Network.
Well, there's a big name in cars that we all know.
Over 40 years, and Frank Shoup in Georgetown is still a big name in cars.
He's big on service and he's big on deals. He sells all the biggest names on wheels. Frank Shoup's a new tradition. Bring on the competition. Frank Shoup is gonna set the pace.
Georgetown means great cars, great local sports, great people, and Galvin's, a great place where friends meet for great Galvin's food. Galvin's voted the best local restaurant in Georgetown. Enjoy a great specialty sandwich from Philly cheesesteaks to Strombolis. Bring the whole family. Watch the big games on the big screens. You'll watch the game. We'll make the munchies like our signature pizzas and home-cut potato chips. Galvin's on Main Street next to the courthouse. Join us on Facebook for all the latest Galvin's acts.
Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. Tyler Dummer getting set to kick for Scott County. Back deep for the Maroons of Pulaski County. Christian Holman and Jalen Conwell. Dummer's kick is up. Conwell in the end zone is going to catch it 1 yard deep. So Pulaski County, they'll start their possession 1st and 10. We'll see what the Maroons are made of. And Mark, kind of looking forward to seeing Mr. Raleigh Hall, one-man show on paper, but I know Pulaski County is a complete squad. Riley Hall, heck of a football player.
And he's got some weapons. When you look at Jake Johnson, had 7 receptions for 145 yards last week. You had George Gregory with 8 receptions for 116 last week. So, I mean, you've got some weapons on the outside. It's going to be interesting to see what he can do here.
So, Pulaski County, we talked about the quarterback, Riley Hall, 6'2", 180-pound senior. Running backs, Jalen Conwell and Jesse Whitaker. In motion is Travis Burchard, or Beckard is I think how they pronounce it.
And that's Conwell, who's caught behind the line. Maybe if he's lucky, Mike gets back to the line of scrimmage.
On the tackle for Scott County, number 66, Noah Kane.
Along with Gavin Hernandez.
So Conwell behind Riley Hall. Hall wears number 7. Conwell is number 33. The big tight end out to the right, number 80, excuse me. Trevor Ridner.
Wow, and there's
Riley
the
Hall
blitz.
goes down. The first sack of the night for Scott County. Keyshawn Brent.
By his standards, the way he ended last season, had kind of quiet last week. We didn't get in the backfield quite as much. Had 1 tackle for loss, but good to see Keyshawn getting off to a good start early here.
So Pulaski County goes no huddles with 5:15 to go in the first quarter. They'll send 2 to the right, 2 to the left. They got Jake Johnson and the tight end Beckert to the left. Up top, they've got, Beckard's up top. Trevor Ridner is to the left. Pass intended for number 16, George Gregory. The 6'1", 182-pound senior falls incomplete. And 4th down and 15 yards for Pulaski County. Scott County doing the job defensively. Monty dialed at that blitz, and it paid off with Keyshawn Brent.
Well, it really did. Hall never could get comfortable back there. And right now, I'm interested to see Scott County special teams. They kind of struggled last week, had a couple early penalties, and then they kind of backed off a little bit. Let's see what they do here on the first punt attempt by
George Gregory is the punter.
Yeah.
Had a good game last week. Did George Gregory. He'll punt right at the 2-yard line. He gets it off. Kind of rugby style. Dylan Smith lets it take 1 bounce. Tries to make a man miss. He does. But he's brought down by Pulaski County's Tyler Harness, a 5'11" sophomore running back for Pulaski County. And Scott County starts the possession inside the 50-yard line of Pulaski County. It'll be 1st and 10 Scott County on the 48-yard line.
And
4:47 to go.
If you're Johnny Hines, this is the one thing that you didn't want to do. I know Scott County went 80 yards and scored on their first possession, but you don't want to give Scott County a short field.
And the thing about it, Mark, you look at Pulaski County's offensive line, they're 255, 258, 232, 275, 266, and Scott County won that first battle up front.
Well, right here, don't be surprised if Glenn Covington's number's not called right here coming out of the timeout.
Instead, they go to Keith Guy, right side. That play's been successful. And Keith Guy, it looks pretty, but he needs to stop that hopping up over somebody. He's going to get manhandled and laid out if he's not careful.
Christian Holman, the senior free safety, 5'10", 182 pounds, met him there.
So pick up a 5-yard, 2nd down and 5. Glenn Covington down to the left side. He's picked up one-on-one by George Gregory. Josh Davis under center, drops the ball, and all he can do is drop down over top of it. Him and Noah Hughes, a little bit of confusion right there. I think Josh Davis was trying to fake it to Noah Hughes. Noah Hughes being a good fullback, good running back.
Says, give me the ball.
If it's that close to you, I'm going to try to take it away from you.
Well, and smart play right there about Josh Davis. Again, Mike talking about how in control he was of the offense last week. He just fell on the football. Don't try to pick it up. That's when you create the turnover. Just fall on the football and go back to the huddle and let's call another play.
So 3rd down and about 7 for Scott County. Josh Davis. Glenn Covington down to the left side. Quick pitch to Keith Guy.
Nice
Glenn
play.
Covington
Gregory
did not get a body on George Gregory. George Gregory made a nice play. I tell you what, Pulaski County looked like they scouted that play pretty well.
Yeah.
And Glenn Covington, the freshman, kind of got a lesson right there. He's got to get a body on Gregory. And if he doesn't, Keith Guy is going to lose yards on that play every time. So 4th and 9, Scott County. Scott County is going to drop back to punt.
We think.
Yep, Josh Davis is the punter. So, nice spiral on the kick. It bounces backwards. Noah Hughes stops it. And it'll be 1st and 10 Pulaski County on the 24-yard line.
Nice defensive stand. You got to give the Maroons credit. Nice job.
So 1st and 10 for Pulaski County at the 25-yard line.
Got to figure traffic was a little bad, Mike. You look across there now, Pulaski County's traveled really well to kickoff. There were still some empty seats over there, but they've started to fill that other side up pretty good.
So 2:53 to go as Pulaski County starts the possession.
Sometime this evening.
Riley Hall has Conwell to his left in the shotgun. Beckert and Jackson up to the left side. Hall back to pass. There's the pressure again. And that's going to be a team sack. It's going to go to Jeremiah Happy. But Noah Kane was there. Tyler Braxton was there. Kendrick Hamilton was there.
Well, the impressive thing, Mike, to me, they're staying in their lanes. They're not giving him any avenue to get out, and that's what he's struggling with because there's no open gaps for him. Scott County's doing a really good job of staying in their lanes when they're pass rushing.
2-yard loss on the play, 2nd and 12. Riley Hall back, looking to the left side. Pass is complete. Over to Jake Johnson. Johnson goes out of bounds.
Eric Abney on the tackle.
So that's going to be a pickup of about 6 yards for Pulaski County. That'll make it 2nd down and a long 6. Excuse me, 3rd down and 6. This time the big tight end, number 80, Trevor Ridner, along with Johnson to the right side. Hall looking back to the left. Good push off by Gregory. Off of Hernandez.
That's Eric Abney on the tackle again.
And Gregory's a good-looking player, isn't he?
Yeah, wide out. He's got some size and got good hands.
So it'll be a 1st down for Pulaski County. 2 minutes, 12 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Scott County 6, Pulaski County 0. It'll be 1st and 10 on the 42-yard line.
Jake Johnson goes in motion. It'll be interesting to see what happens. And he is the intended target.
Yep. On the inside slant, tackle by Dylan Smith, pickup of 9 yards. So Pulaski County's made a little bit of an adjustment on that Scott County blitzing defense. Been successful on back-to-back pass plays. It'll be another 1st down for the Maroons. 1st and 10, first time inside of the Scott County territory, 47-yard line. Johnson in motion to the left side. Handoff up the middle to Conwell. Conwell brought down by Scott County's number 57, Daniel Perkins.
Nice job by the right defensive tackle for Scott County.
About a half a yard gain on the play. 2nd down and a long 9. Conwell going out wide along with Beckard. They got 4 receivers on the right side, 1 on the left, and that tells Coach Monty I better call a timeout. So we'll take a timeout as well. 1:30 to go, first quarter. Scott County 6, Pulaski nothing here on the Scott County Sports Network.
Well, there's a big name in cars that we all know.
Over 40 years, and Frank Shoup in Georgetown is still a big name in cars.
He's big on service and he's big on deals. He sells all the biggest names on wheels. Frank Shoup's a new tradition. Bring on the competition. Frank Shoup is gonna set the pace.
Georgetown means great cars, great local sports, great people, and Galvin's, a great place where friends meet for great Galvin's food. Galvin's voted the best local restaurant in Georgetown. Enjoy a great specialty sandwich from Philly cheesesteaks to Strombolis. Bring the whole family. Watch the big games on the big screens. You'll watch the game. We'll make the munchies like our signature pizzas and home-cut potato chips. Galvin's on Main Street next to the courthouse.
Welcome back. They come back with the same play. 4 receivers on the right, 1 on the left. And they've got in the slant Jake Johnson over top of Keyshawn Brand. And Johnson makes the play. And he's brought down at the 6-yard line. Great play right there by Pulaski County. Pickup of 40 yards on the play.
And Mike, that formation basically says, see if you can stop me, because they basically kind of just threw it over the top and he ran underneath of it.
Yeah, he got past Keyshawn Brent. Once he did, Riley Hall did a great job just lowering over top of the defender. Right into the hands of Jake Johnson. 40-yard gain, 1st and goal from the 6-yard line. Hall out to the right.
That's way
touchdown pass, way too easy to Jake Johnson.
He did a nice job of pushing and driving Keith Guy back in the end zone. Just kind of turned back to the corner front pylon, and nice pass by Riley Hall.
You got to say hats off to Pulaski County. A well-called possession for the Maroons. So Pulaski County's going to line up for the extra point. Kicking is Derek Burgett. Holding for Pulaski County is Jake New. Burgett's kick is up and good. So Pulaski County with 1:14 to go, first quarter, takes the lead, 7-6 over Scott County. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back for the Scott County kickoff return team right here on the Scott County Sports Network.
The Hockensmith Agency is proud to call Scott County home. We're your Main Street insurance that blends tradition and innovation to offer the best quality service to our clients. By offering a wide range of coverage from the impressive list of major insurance companies, we truly meet your insurance coverage needs. Come visit us at 224 East Main in Georgetown or online at HockensmithAgency.com. The Hockensmith Agency, providing coverage for the motorist insurance group for all your insurance needs.
People's Exchange Bank doesn't think you can get where you want to go by cutting corners, playing games, or sacrificing relationships. Roots take time to grow and give strength and stability. Since 1912, our banks and our people have been part of your community. And while our services continue...
Welcome back. Derek Berger getting set to kick off for the Maroons. 1:14 to go. Pulaski County. First lead of the ball game, 7-6. Burgett on the trot to the ball. Kickoff line drive. Keyshawn Brent picks it up at the 15-yard line. Brent around the right side. Gets out to the 33. My math's right. I have to call Andy. An 18-yard pickup on the kickoff return by Keyshawn Brent. So Scott County starts possession. 1st and 10 on the 33-yard line.
Been a while since Keyshawn had played running back at Georgetown Middle School, but he looked like he remembered how to do it pretty well.
The best thing that Keyshawn Brent did right there is he went north and south. So Scott County gets the play, run out as a team. Scott County's offensive line. Brian Hudson, Jesse Hamby, Kobe McKee, Trey Bender, and Alex Miller. The tight end is Jordan Darnell. Here's the handoff to Hamilton around the left side. Gets through the defenders, and he's open. Kendrick Hamilton at the 30, one guy to beat. Inside the 10, and Kendrick Hamilton takes it to the house for a Scott County 67-yard touchdown run by number 25, Kendrick Hamilton. And Mark, nice play design.
Well, it really was, and you could tell they were watching for Keith Guy. They kind of forgot about Kendrick Hamilton, and he made them pay for it. And it looks like Scott County's got Tyler Dummer back in.
So Dummer's going to come in to try the extra point. Scott County's not going to go for two right here. Alex Miller, the short snapper. Abney with the hold. Dummer's kick is up, and it is good. Tyler Dummer gives Scott County the lead, 13-7 on the Kendrick Hamilton touchdown run. And we got that queued up. Let's go ahead and look at that touchdown run by Kendrick Hamilton. Kendrick Hamilton, the set play, they fake the dive to the fullback, Noah Hughes. They give it to Kendrick Hamilton. He splits two defenders right there, and once he gets to the edge, I thought he was going to be run down, but at the 40-yard line, he just separates. He gets inside the 30, 20. The guys realize they're not going to get him, and he scampers on in for a 67-yard touchdown run. Good job, Kendrick Hamilton, especially for a defensive guy, right? So Scott County, Mark, it didn't take them long. It took them exactly 21 seconds to score and to reclaim the lead. And, Mark, what's your thoughts there? They went for one instead of trying to get for two, just too early in the ball game.
Well, yeah, I think so. I think he's telling the defense he's got confidence. He's not going to do that unless he felt like he just wasn't going to have to be able to stop them and going to have to try to outscore them. I I think it does two things. It tells his defense that, but it also tells Dummer that he's got confidence in his ability, that just because you missed one, we're not going to go away from it.
Now, Tyler a little more tentative than we're used to seeing there.
Got hit a couple times last week, so
back deep is Jalen Conwell and Christian Holman. Dummer's kick is up, and it's a line drive, and it's going to go about 8 yards deep into the end zone. It might have been a line drive, but it still had plenty of legs, so Pulaski County. Familiar start for the opponents of Scott County. It'll be on the 20-yard line. Pulaski County, we'll see how they react to giving up the quick touchdown to the Cardinals. That was still a pretty 67-yard run.
Oh, yeah. Once he got behind them, he just kind of put it in cruise control, and they still couldn't catch him.
Like I said, I thought the 50-yard line, they had the angle on him, but by the time he got to the 35, nobody was going to get him. So nice run by Kendrick Hamilton. Riley Hall says, I'm going to reload. Riley Hall responsible for 8 touchdown passes, or 8 touchdown plays last week. He's familiar with leading the Maroons to the promised land. Jalen Conwell with the handoff up the left side. He's going to pick up about 2 yards.
Beer My Happy gets up off the bottom, Mike, and so does Kendrick Hamilton.
A lot of gang tackling for Scott County. You love to see that. So give him a pickup of 3 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Riley Hall fakes the handoff to Conwell. It goes one-on-one coverage. Pass intended for Jake Johnson, and almost one heck of a play out there.
Yeah, he almost brought that down 100. Great coverage by Dylan Smith, but, man, Johnson almost pulled it down with the one-hand grab.
And what you don't realize, Jake Johnson is 6'2", 175 pounds, and has a nice hops, too. He lines up this time to the right side, up to the top. Can't get the numbers from here, but Hall's going inside to Johnson. Johnson and Keith Guy battling for it. Thought Keith Guy might have got away with a little bit of contact there.
You could see some jerseys stretch early, but he was able to get in there and get it broken up.
So Scott County's defense, on a good play by Keith Guy, forced the punt attempt right here. That'll bring in George Gregory. Gregory with a pretty good punt his first time. Little quick kick almost. Took about a half a step, kicked it rugby style. So 19 seconds to go, back deep for Scott County. Dylan Smith. Any chance of any trickeration going on right here, Mark?
I don't think so, not this deep.
So Gregory gets the punt off. Dylan Smith is going to have room to run. Dylan Smith's got to make one guy miss.
Couldn't do it. Nice job.
Christian Holman with the tackle right there. And Scott County predicates their kickoff or punt returns. If the punt return guy can make one guy miss, they set up that wall. And they've had some pretty punt returns in the years of covering Scott County football, haven't they, Mark?
Well, they really have, but you got to give hats off to Pulaski County right there. They had 4 guys, kind of had him corralled in. He wasn't going to make all 4 miss. They've done some scouting. They're a well-coached football team. You don't win a state championship without knowing how to get a team prepared, and you can tell they've come in here with their prep work done and film work done, because they've done some pretty good job of cutting off some of Scott County's gravy train.
So Glenn Covington up to the right side. There's the handoff right side to Keith Guy. Gets between the defenders. Picks up about 8 yards. And, Mark, one thing I'm noticing here, Scott County's running backs are doing a good job. They're saying, okay, we're not going to get to the edge, so we're going to go inside and let that guy on the end have to come and get us. And they've been very successful at this point as Keith Guy picks up 7. And that'll be the end of the first quarter. They're just going to let the clock run out. So 1 quarter in the books. 13-7 is your score. Scott County with the lead and the football at the 49-yard line. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. You're watching the Scott County Sports Network. Steve Skierman, agency manager at the Scott County Farm Bureau Insurance, would like you to know that as your local insurance agent, he is right here in your community, ready to help you with all your insurance needs. In the event of a loss, you can count on Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance to help you through it. We have local claims adjusters to serve you at your time of loss. We are knowledgeable about our community and can provide valuable assistance and advice when needed. Call the office today at 502-863-2454 for a free, no-obligation quote. Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, big on commitment. Georgetown Community Hospital is a 75-bed acute care facility with an award-winning history providing excellence in health care. Georgetown has been named one of the best places to work in Kentucky for 5 of the last 6 years. The hospital continues to add new medical services and to grow the number of specialists and primary care physicians. It also features an award-winning ICU, medical surgery unit, and 24-hour emergency services. Georgetown Hospital, located on Lexington Road in Georgetown, Kentucky. Here for your needs 24 hours a day. Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. Getting a chance to see the Scott County dance team. Mark, you've had the first quarter stats for about 5 minutes. What jumps out at you?
20 offensive possessions, 165 total offense for Scott County to only 13 plays and 73 yards offense to Pulaski County. Time of possession, 8 minutes and 21 seconds for Scott County to only 3 minutes and 39 seconds for Pulaski. Scott County doing a pretty good job of controlling the game. 13 first downs for Scott, 7 for Pulaski. So doing a really good job of controlling the game so far, Mike.
So in motion, Keith Guy for Scott County. They get it to Dylan Smith. He's met in the backfield. Be a loss of about 2 yards. Pulaski County sniffed that one out.
And Ricky Maxey on the bottom, another inside linebacker, a junior, 5'10", 199 pounds on that tackle.
Yeah, when Coach Hines sent me the information, he thought that Mr. Maxey might be injured and not be able to play this week, so he gave me a tentative starter, but it's hard to keep an inside linebacker out of the game, isn't it, Mark?
Yeah, that mentality is I like to hit and I like to be hit.
So Josh Davis under center. In motion is Dylan Smith. Scott County looking to go deep. Josh Davis throws it up. Glenn Covington is there behind everybody, and he gets it inside the 10-yard line. Pick up a 43 yards on the play.
George Gregory on the tackle, and I honestly thought that Josh missed him because when he was first open, he kind of held on to the football and double pumped, and he was still able to catch the football. Had to wait on it just a little bit, but great job by the freshman, Mike, being quiet up to this point.
Yeah,
that's
Josh
a big
Davis
play.
throws it 40 yards in the air. Good play by Scott County, and they're inside the 10-yard line, getting set to score again. So Covington down to the right side this time. Josh Davis gives it to.
That's touchdown.
Keith Guy hurdles one defender and into the end zone. Keith Guy, Scott County. 7-yard touchdown run by Keith Guy. Scott County scoring quickly here tonight. Took them 21 seconds the time before. This time it takes them a total of 1 minute and 5 seconds as Tyler Dummer set to kick the extra point. Eric Abney on the hold. Alex Miller, the short snapper. Dummer 1 for 2 tonight. And that one there, he kicks with a little bit more authority, and it splits the uprights. So Scott County goes up 20-7 here on the Scott County Sports Network. Back after this.
Sports Connection is your team and retail sporting goods and custom athletic apparel supplier. Sports Connection is located next to Kroger in the Washington Square Shopping Center in Georgetown. Sports Connection can outfit your team from hats to shoes and everything in between. Drop by or call Daryl, Scott, or Jessica at 502-570-0280. Sports Connection, a proud sponsor and athletic and sporting goods supplier to Scott County and Georgetown College athletics.
Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. The scoreboard says it all. 20 for Scott County, 7 for Pulaski County. Just started the second quarter here, and while we got a break here, let's look at the replay of that touchdown run by Scott County's Keith Guy. So Keith Guy gets the handoff. Pretty much they have contained. He just splits the defenders, jumps one, goes into the end zone, and he's not touched, Mark, until he gets right at the goal line. So an easy scoring touchdown run by Keith Guy of 7 yards, and Scott County on the Tyler Dummer extra point take the lead 20-7.
Yeah, Mike, and on that play, Trey Bender had the big block because he basically, the only guy that could have stopped him, Trey Bender got. So good job by the senior lineman.
So 2 for 2 on touchbacks tonight by Dummer. Dummer says, I'm going to make it 3 for 3. Jalen Conwell picks it up right on top of the G, about 8 yards deep. And Pulaski County will start 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line. Pulaski County, Mark, needs to get a good offensive play right here.
A big play. I think they've got to score right here. They can't afford to go down 3 to Scott County on the road. They've got to put some points on the board here, I think. They got to go 80 yards, so let's see what Ricky Hall and Coach Johnny Hines have planned here as they break the huddle. They've got 2 out to the right on the upper part of your screen and 3 wide on the bottom, so it's an empty backfield for Ricky Hall. Let's see what he tries to do here.
So Raleigh Hall back deep.
And there's the first lane. It's actually opened up, and he's going to make them pay.
Keith Guy knocks him out of bounds, but I think Raleigh Hall is right at the sticks. They're going to say he's about a half yard short. So Raleigh Hall, like you say, Mark, first time we lost contain right there, and Raleigh Hall makes us pay.
Yeah, he didn't hesitate. When it parted, he took off, and smart read.
Daniel Perkins, the defensive tackle, had a chance at Raleigh Hall, but once he missed him, pretty much it was an easy game. Pickup of 9 yards for the senior. They go trips left. Raleigh Hall looking for the deep ball to George Gregory through the fingertips, probably about a half a yard long. Good defense there by Scott County. Number 38, KJ Christopher. Christopher had 3 solo tackles last week. Be 3rd down and 1 for Pulaski County.
Gregory needs to get back.
Look for Jake Johnson right here. Johnson down to the left between the other 2 receivers. Jalen Hall up for protection. The hand at the Hall, or Jalen Conwell, excuse me.
Nice
picks
cutback.
Up plenty.
Nice cutback.
Pickup of 7 yards on the play. It'll be 1st down for Pulaski County. Good call right there. Pretty much Conwell gave the impression he was just moving up the block. They just sneak it under his hands, and he picks up 7 for a 1st down.
Got the big tight end on the inside on this low near side of the field, Mike. That's definitely a mismatch for Eric Abney.
Trevor Ridner.
And man,
there's a good job by Tyler Braxton.
Ball thrown for loss by Scott County's Tyler Braxton.
Came on the blitz right there. Give Monty credit.
Be a loss of 6 yards on the play. 2nd down and 16.
He's not going to let him sit back here and get comfortable tonight.
We go under 10 minutes to go in the first half. 20-7 is your score. Glad you could join us. Appreciate all of our sponsors, especially Scott County Physical Therapy, Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery, Frank Shoup, for all they do to allow us to bring Scott County athletics to you here on the internet. Raleigh Hall. Quick pass
the
down
big
the
boy.
middle.
He got lost. No contain.
Nobody there. He's going to be run down, except for the good block. Great block right there, Mark, by Jake Johnson, and KJ Christopher knocks him out at the 5-yard line. But Jake Johnson pretty much got in the way of Kendrick Hamilton, and a pickup of another 15 yards.
And that's Redner, Mike, 6'2", 240 pounds. You got to give KJ Christopher kudos. I mean, he took on a much bigger man right there, knocked him out of bounds, but somebody blew coverage right there because Ridner came off the line. There wasn't anybody within 20 yards of him.
That's one of those things. How can you say a guy that big get that wide open? But they found him. Big play, and Pulaski County knocking on the door. Down 13.
Big man showed he had a little bit of speed, too.
He went right straight to that water bucket, I guarantee you, as Conwell goes right side.
Touchdown.
Splits the defenders and into the end zone for a 5-yard touchdown run.
Taking a little bit out of Scott County's playbook, Mike. You talked about the Scott County running backs not trying to make everything go outside and cutting it back up. Last 2 carries, Conwell's done a nice job of reading that as well. And that's a big play. I felt like that Pulaski County needed to score right there, so they did. So
yeah, it takes them a minute and 25 seconds to score.
We got a football
20-13. Derek Burkett. Burgett in for the extra point. Holding is Jake New. Burgett 1 for 1. Ball's down and make him 2 for 2 as Pulaski County gets within 6. It's 20-14, 9:30 to go. Here in the first half, we got ourselves a good one here on the Scott County Sports Network. We'll be back right after this. J&L Pharmacy and Home Medical Equipment, located on South Broadway in Georgetown, Kentucky, is locally owned and operated by Scott County native Philip Johnson. J&L Pharmacy can meet all your prescription and compounding needs, and they will match all local pharmacy prescription cash prices, guaranteed. They have a convenient drive-through window, offer free local delivery, and are open 6 days a week. J&L can also provide you with all your home medical needs, including home oxygen with 24-hour emergency service. Stop by the store or give them a call at 502-863-9823 for all your pharmacy needs. Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network, and Mark, like we say, you don't get to be a 5A state champion if you can't battle. Pulaski County answered the bell right there, didn't they?
They really did, and it's a big score. They needed to score right there. I didn't think they could go 3 down to Scott County, so hats off to them, and Mike, like we said, this is a football game. Everybody had this circled. They thought this was going to be a good football game, and most people were right. It's going to be a good football game.
So back deep for Scott County, Keith Guy and Dylan Smith. Derek Burgett kicking off for Pulaski County. 9:30 to go here in the first half. Burgett with the kick. Scott County's going to have a chance to catch it at the 2-yard line. Is Keith Guy. They set up the wall. Keith Guy tries to make one man miss. And a good job there by Pulaski County's number 6, Ricky Maxey.
And number 20, Christian Holman, coming up off the bottom as well, Mike.
So Scott County starts the possession. 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line.
And they're on 24.
So Coach McLee gives the players their first assignment. They sprint out to the field, 9:23 to go. Scott County's turn to ring the bell, so to speak. A lot of scoring real quick after that first touchdown score by Scott County to start the ball game. Hand off to Kendrick Hamilton. Kendrick Hamilton splits the defenders, and he picks up 15. Kendrick Hamilton. First down for Scott County, pick up a 15.
Gregory on the tackle.
And Mark, right there, that tells me Scott County's offensive line is doing the job.
Yeah, they're doing a nice job, and that play's worked both times. That's the same play that he scored a touchdown on. So, obviously Scott County has seen something up in the coach's box, and they're going to run that to Pulaski, shows they can stop it.
So Covington down to the right side, quick pitch to Keith Guy. Keith Guy, one guy to beat, and he can't do it with the tackle for Pulaski County, number 28, Jake New. But it's going to be a pickup of 16 yards, another first down for Scott County. And Scott County running left, Scott County running right, picking up first downs, left and right.
And the right side of the line did a great job of pulling and getting out in front of him. Alex Miller and Trey Binder doing a nice job sealing some blocks and giving Keith Guy just enough room to get through there.
Trey Bender, we've called his name quite a bit. He's doing a great job for Scott County. Hamilton upended in the backfield. Good tackle right there by Jackson Mobley, a 5'10", 182-pound junior. That's going to be a loss of 2 yards for Scott County. Second down and 12. Kendrick Hamilton said that wasn't as much fun as them other runs.
Jake Roberts back in at nose tackle. He's rotating Daniel Mink and Jake Roberts and Brandon Goodling at that nose tackle position, running anywhere from 200 to 266 pounds.
In motion, Keith Guy. Here comes the pass. They're trying to get it to Covington. He's covered, double team. Josh Davis wide open, and he's going to run it. And he's going to get out of bounds just before the hit.
And that's a late hit.
There's the late hit and a flag.
That's a good call.
And that's an aggressive play by George Gregory. Not going to say anything at fault right there, but if you're a quarterback and you get close to that sidelines and you're going out of bounds, you've got to, as a defensive player, learn to not hit them.
Well, and the only thing about it too, there was no indication whatsoever that he was going to even consider turning upfield. He was on an angle straight for that. And again, it's one of those deals where you got to know where you are on the football field, because you just gave him 15 extra yards and you're going to put them down to about the 20, inside the 20.
And what you've done is you've taken a 12-yard gain, which would have been a first down. You've turned it into a 27-yard gain. Now Scott County in the red zone just like that. It'll be 1st and 10, Scott County on the 19-yard line. And again, I don't think there's anything malicious by George Gregory. It's just, it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to stop.
But you got to understand where you are on the field.
Scott County was looking for Glenn Covington. He was covered, but this time they're going to give it to Keith Guy. He makes two guys miss, gets to the corner, and touchdown, Keith Guy. Great run by Keith Guy, 19 yards. And you want to say he had good blocking? But right there, when you can make two guys break their ankles at one move, you just got the it factor, don't you?
Well, and I'm telling you, once he does get to the edge, you're in trouble.
Keith Guy, as fast as he needs to be is what I like to say when people ask me how fast is he. Keith Guy with the 19-yard touchdown run, 7:51 to go. Scott County 26, Pulaski 14, Dummer in to kick. Abney on the hold, Miller with the snap. Snap's perfect. And the kick is down, and Tyler Dummer kicking with a lot more authority as the extra point is good. 27-14 is your score. 7:51 to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back with the replay of the Keith Guy 19-yard touchdown run here on the Scott County Sports Network. We'll be back right after this.
Well, there's a big name in cars that we all know.
Over 40 years, and Frank Shoup in Georgetown is still a big name in cars.
He's big on service and he's big on deals. He sells all the biggest names on wheels. Frank Shoup's a new tradition. Bring on the competition. Frank Shoup is gonna set the pace.
Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. We'll take a quick look at that touchdown run by Keith Guy. Scott County at the 19-yard line. Keith Guy lined up to the left. Basically a quick handoff. He makes one guy miss, and right here you can see he makes two guys. They go for him. Both of them hit the ground, and once he gets the edge, he's in untouched for Scott County's fourth touchdown of the night. Keith Guy gives Scott County the lead, 27-14. Dummer with the kickoff. Dummer into the end zone every time. They're going to let Conwell set. He picked it up at the half-yard line. Conwell met at the 14 by Scott County's number 45.
Bryce Fryman.
Bryce Fryman did a good job running last week, and right there he shows you can tackle as well as he meets Conwell at the 15-yard line. And the sophomore for Scott County wins that battle. And that's as close as you can get to the end zone without kicking into the end zone right there. I think Conwell was in the end zone. He jumped up in the air to catch it. And the official says, that's good enough for me. Live ball, let's play. So 1st and 15 for the Maroons. They're down 13 here, 7:45 to go in the first half. Raleigh Hall back to pass. He's got Johnson open over the middle.
Nice catch.
Abney with the coverage, but the 6'2" wide receiver makes the play.
That's just 6'2" on 5'10" right there. Abney had great coverage. He's just not tall enough in that situation. Ball was thrown high in the perfect spot.
And Raleigh Hall does a good job of getting it up in the air, where the only person who can catch it is Jake Johnson. So 23-yard pickup, first down for the Maroons, 7:30 to go. Pulaski County back to pass again. Little lob pass to Conwell. Good job by Dylan Smith as he makes the blocker miss. But Dylan Smith forgot one thing, Mark, and that's to make the tackle himself. As KJ Christopher and Tyler Braxton come over and make the stop.
I like that play, though, Mike. You clear out the side by having Jake Johnson go deep, and then you just float Conwell out to that flat. There wasn't anybody within 15 yards of him.
Yep. 17-yard pickup and another first down by Pulaski County. Dylan Smith did a great job making the defender get off the block, but he forgot to tackle, and Scott County's Monty McIntyre is going to take Scott County's last time out of the first half. 7:10 to go. Scott County 27, Pulaski County 14. Pulaski County moving inside the Scott County 50-yard line. We'll be back right after this.
Georgetown means great cars, great local sports, great people, and Galvin's, a great place where friends meet for great Galvin's food. Galvin's voted the best local restaurant in Georgetown. Enjoy a great specialty sandwich from Philly cheesesteaks to Strombolis. Bring the whole family. Watch the big games on the big screens. You'll watch the game. We'll make the munchies like our signature pizzas and home-cut potato chips. Galvin's on Main Street next to the courthouse. Join us on Facebook for all the latest Galvin's acts.
Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. Coach Monty McIntyre, the defensive coordinator for Scott County, talking up his defenders as Pulaski County, 3 big plays in this drive, Mark. Scott County needs a play of their own on the defensive side. With 7:10 to go, Scott County up 27-14. We thought it was going to be a good one, and it's lived up to it so far. Both teams potent offense. Scott County has scored 4 times. Pulaski County has scored twice. The only kink in the armor for Scott County, 1 missed extra point. Raleigh Hall back to pass. He's got Johnson. Jake Johnson wide open. A good job defensively by Keith Guy. He stays with it. Jake Johnson had him beat, but he bobbles the ball, and Keith Guy is able to knock it away as they both go to the ground. So a brass breakup by Keith Guy of Scott County.
Jake Johnson like to have that one back, Mike.
And from our view up here, you could see that play just setting up.
Yeah, he had him beat. It's the one time that you've seen a defensive back for Scott County actually get turned around a little bit. But he was able to recover and caused just enough trouble for Johnson to drop it.
Handoff to Conwell, left side. Conwell makes 2 guys miss. Jeremiah Happy from behind with the tackle. Kendrick Hamilton not used to being the one that makes contact and goes backwards, but Jalen Conwell right there made Mr. Hamilton earn that tackle, didn't he?
Yeah, he had to readjust his chin strap after that hit.
3rd down and 2 for Pulaski County. A big play right here. Pass run option in the playbook with 2 yards to pick up for Pulaski County. They're going to give it to Conwell. Conwell straight up the middle. Gavin Hernandez with the tackle. Tyler Braxton down low, trips him up.
You got to turn around and give the Pulaski County coaches a little bit of credit too, Mike. They've seen something because all of a sudden Conwell's becoming more active. I don't know if it's confidence by the Pulaski offensive line or a scheme that they've seen, but all of a sudden he's picking up some yardage where he struggled in the first quarter.
So Beckert and Johnson to the right side. Riley Hall gets around Kendrick Hamilton, and he's got some running room, and he's going to step out of bounds at about the 22-yard line. Kendrick Hamilton thought he had the angle on him, had the shot, but Riley Hall kind of juked him a little bit. Once he did that, there was nobody else out there. And Scott County's defense, Mark, as you well know, predicated on not losing containment, and Kendrick Hamilton did at that time.
Yeah, and it's interesting. He spun away, but into the same side. Most guys would have tried to turn around and run the opposite direction. Nice move on his part because he was able to sidestep Kendrick Hamilton.
2nd and 2, handoff to Jalen Conwell. He goes left side. Drug down from behind by Eric Abney. It's going to be a gain of about 2 yards on the play.
Tackle by Abney of Scott County.
So it's going to be 3rd down and short. Pulaski County on the 21-yard line. 5:42 to go. Glad you could join us here on the Scott County Sports Network. Again, home games will be done on a delayed basis. Away games will be brought to you live. We've got a stoppage of play right here. And I think they're wanting to check to make sure it's not a first down. That request came from the head coach, Johnny Hines. So there's a little bit of confusion. They get the ball into number 44's hands, Mason Helton. And that went from disaster to a first down right there.
That was supposed to be a shuttle pass, but the fullback, Conway and Hall, kind of bump into each other, so it becomes kind of a little pop-up. Helton did a nice job of just going and getting it.
So a first down pickup on a little bit of a trick play from Pulaski County. It'll be 1st and goal at the 10-yard line. Raleigh Hall deep. Conwell to his right. Hall's going to go on the keeper, and he's brought down from behind by Keyshawn Brent. It's going to be a gain of about a little over a yard. 2nd and goal for Pulaski at about the 9-yard line.
2nd and goal from the 9-yard line.
Good football game here tonight. They've got Jake Johnson. You got to keep an eye on him. He's one-on-one with Dylan Smith down here at the bottom. Out to the right is Helton along with Beckert. And Hall looking all the way for Jake Johnson. Good coverage, but on that slant, you can't let him get in front. And they're going to say he's down at about the half-yard line.
Yeah, once you get that inside position, you really can't do anything as the defensive back if that's an easy throw and catch.
And Riley Hall was looking at Jake Johnson all the way. Once he gets the inside step on Dylan Smith, you can have as good a coverage as you want, like you said, Mark. It's just pitch and catch at that point, especially when you got the accuracy of Riley Hall.
Wow.
Direct handoff to Mr. Wildcat, Mason Helton.
From the 2-yard line at 6'3", 225, I'd say he's got a pretty good chance of getting to the end zone.
Especially when you give him a 5-yard gain, a run to get started before he meets contact. So 3:57 to go, 27-20 is your score. The game is living up to what we thought it would be. It's who's going to blink first, and up to this point, Pulaski County. The only time, well, Scott County had to punt one time. Pulaski's had to punt twice. So Burgett with the extra point attempt is good, and the lead's down to 6, 27-21. 3:57 to go here on the Scott County Sports Network. Back after this.
Exchange Bank doesn't think you can get where you want to go by cutting corners, playing games, or sacrificing relationships. Roots take time to grow and give strength and stability. Since 1912, our banks and our people have been part of your community. And while our services continue to keep pace with your need for today's high-tech conveniences, we know that loyalty never grows old. You don't just need a bank, you need people. People's Exchange Bank. People serving people since 1912.
Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. Mike Ritchie, Mark Walls, Toby Murray, Kevin Ritchie. Glad to bring you Scott County Athletics all year long. Tonight's game, tape delayed. Scott County's home football games will be tape delayed and available no later than 9 o'clock Saturday morning for your viewing enjoyment. Scott County sees their lead cut down to 6. It's 27-21. If you wonder why that's only a 6-point lead, Scott County 3 of 4 from extra points tonight. Pulaski County a perfect 3 for 3. So Derek Burgett getting set to kick off. 2, Keith Guy and Dylan Smith. Burgett 2 out of 3 times in the end zone. Here goes number 4. Number 4 is going to be close, and it's going to be 4 yards into the end zone. So I think there needs to be a coach's agreement between these two teams.
Start at the 20.
Let's just start at the 20 and get this game going. So first and 10, Scott County on their own 20-yard line.
I'm kind of waiting to see which coach is going to pull the trigger and try the short pooch kick or onside kick.
So Scott County's offensive unit getting final set of instructions from head coach Jim McKee. Josh Davis doing a great job at quarterback for Scott County. They come out with their starters. Noah Hughes, Dylan Smith, Keith Guy, Glenn Covington, the wide receiver, down to the bottom of your screen. He's been checked one-on-one by Dylan Hopkins. They're going to give it to Keith Guy. That play's been successful left and right for Scott County. Keith Guy, unsuccessful amount of yards that time in his eyes. He's averaging about 10 yards per carry. This time he picks up 8 yards. It'll be 2nd and 2, Scott County.
And Jesse Hambley, nice job leading him through the hole right there.
2nd and 2, Scott County.
This time handoff to Dylan Smith. He goes left side, tripped up, but not after he picks up 6 yards. Good enough for a Scott County first down right at the 34-yard line.
It looks like Maxey was coming up off the bottom of that pile.
And you can't say enough for the Scott County offensive line. First contact is usually about 3 or 4 yards past the line of scrimmage. So the Scott County offensive line, we thought it would take them some time to get started, but they've been running on all cylinders since last week up at Tate's Creek.
It's going to be the first penalty, I believe, on Scott County's offensive line. I think, false start. First one of the season, Mike.
Yep. And we had the holding penalty earlier. But that's the first offensive false start against Scott County. So the moral of that story is don't give them any compliments. I told you not to say anything nice about them until after the game. That come from Coach Scott Willard.
Glad you threw him under the bus. I thought you were getting ready to throw me under the bus.
So Scott County, under 3 minutes to go in the first half. Quick give up the middle to Noah Hughes. Noah Hughes uncharacteristically goes a little bit east and west for a minute, then realizes that he's a fullback, and he winds up picking up about 7 yards. So it'll be 2nd down and 8 for Scott County after that false start penalty.
7, it'll be 2nd and 8.
Scott County trying to hold the football here. They don't want to give Pulaski County another opportunity in this first half. Keith Guy, great job reading blockers. He's going to pick up 7.
And number 51, the nose tackle, Daniel Mink, did a nice job of just getting one arm enough to slow him up and allow his teammates to come over and gang tackle Keith Guy on that.
Under 2 minutes to go, and Mark, very important because Pulaski County gets the football to start the second half. Scott County wants to try to keep them from getting the football again here in this first half. Quick give up the middle to Noah Hughes. He's wide open for a big gain. It'll be a pickup of 11 yards. He's brought down by number 44, Mason Helton.
Gain of 10.
Be first down for Scott County, 46-yard line of Pulaski County.
Big stand right here if you're Pulaski County. You'd like to try to get that football back. If nothing else, just keep Scott County out of the end zone these final 2 minutes.
Here's a trick play. Glenn Covington looking to pass it. He bobbles it, and he's going to go down. Big loss. First trick play for Scott County. It winds up being a 6-yard loss.
Mobley gets...
Glenn Covington was going to throw that football. And Scott County, Mark, doesn't have to score a touchdown. They've got the strong leg kicker, Tyler Dummer.
He's second and 16, Scott County.
He made a 46-yarder in the scrimmage, so he definitely has the distance. Davis back to pass. Over the middle, intended for number 19, Jordan Darnell. Passes a little bit high.
And that tight end, that's that tight end drag across the middle, and that's open, Mike.
Basically, like you say, Mark, they've picked up and seen tape on Glenn Covington. He's double teamed every time he has the football tonight. So it'll be 3rd down and long for Scott County. 54 seconds to go. Here's the handoff to Keith Guy. He's up in the air again. Picks up 6. He picks up about 9 yards. It'll be 4th down and a long 8 for Scott County.
And the question is here, 40 seconds to go. Coach going to work this clock. He's going to work it down, maybe take the 5-yard penalty and then punt it.
So it'll be 4th down and 8. I apologize for the technical difficulty. I lost my mic there. So we got that fixed. Special thanks to Toby Murray.
There's something on that sweep play that Coach McKee's not happy about. I'm not sure if he's trying to set the stage for the next time they get the ball on offense, but he's complained to everybody that'll listen to him.
So it's going to be a delay of game against Scott County.
Flag on the play. Delay of game against Scott County.
And let's keep our eye on it. You got to remember back in the state championship game, Meade County was kind of accused of basically going to the legs of the offensive lineman that was pulling. That might be what we're seeing. Let's keep an eye for that in the second half.
Yeah, he's visibly upset. I mean, he's gone to the head guy and the sideline judge. He's trying to set the stage for the next offensive series.
So 9 seconds to go, 27-21. Pulaski County with the timeout. We'll take a 30-second timeout as well here on the Scott County Sports Network.
Scott County Physical Therapy is a privately owned physical therapy practice specializing in outpatient orthopedics, sports and industrial rehab, neurological rehabilitation, low back pain, neck pain, and arthritic conditions. Our mission is to provide the highest quality physical therapy to assist each individual and the community at large. Scott County Physical Therapy, a journey to wellness. To contact the physical therapist and Scott County Physical Therapy, please dial 502-863-4242. Scott County Physical Therapy is the title sponsor for Scott County Athletics.
Back live here, Josh Davis back deep to punt for Scott County. It's 4th and 12, so probably not going to look for a trick play here. Josh Davis.
Although Jake Johnson not going, Mike, I'm not sure. Pulaski's not sold they're going to kick it. They don't have anybody deep.
So Davis needs to get it up in the air and let the ball bounce. And he does a great job of doing that. Probably going to run the clock out, and it's going to be down inside the 4, but it's not going to matter. As there's the horn, 1 half in the books at halftime. Scott County wins the first half, 27-21 over Pulaski County. The game's lived up to the billing that we thought it would be. Good ball game, should be a good second half. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back with the first half stats by the governor, Mark Walls, and much more here on the Scott County Sports Network with Scott County with the lead, 27-21. We'll be back right after this.
Whitaker bank shot. I'll give you a Whitaker bank shot.
All right. Here's a real Whitaker bank shot.
Yes, sir. Here's a winning Whitaker bank shot.
Nice shot.
Whitaker bank shot. Now there's a Whitaker bank shot.
Come on, Coach Honey.
I still got it.
Whitaker Bank, uniquely Kentucky. J&L Pharmacy and Home Medical Equipment, located on South Broadway in Georgetown, Kentucky, is locally owned and operated by Scott County native Philip Johnson. J&L Pharmacy can meet all your prescription and compounding needs, and they will match all local pharmacy prescription cash prices, guaranteed. They have a convenient drive-through window, offer free local delivery, and are open 6 days a week. J&L can also provide you with all your home medical needs, including home oxygen with 24-hour emergency service. Stop by the store or give them a call at 502-863-9823 for all your pharmacy needs.
Hi, I'm David Goldman with Georgetown Family Chiropractic. Are backaches and headaches a problem for you? They shouldn't be. Drugs and surgery may mask the pain, but seldom treat the underlying cause. Spinal decompression works to ease pressure between discs without injections and without surgery. Don't learn to live with the pain, and don't let it limit your lifestyle. Call us today for a free evaluation. 866-807-8611.
Hi, Dick Stockton here. I've been announcing sports for over 40 years, and I know a winning team when I see one. Greens Toyota of Lexington has what it takes to win, which is why Greens is Kentucky's #1 Toyota dealer 2 years running. Family owned for over 40 years, Greens strives to give excellent customer service and best value for the dollar. No matter what department, parts, service, or sales, Greens continues to move forward doing business the right way every day. Be a part of Greens' winning team. Greens Toyota. Great people, great cars. Think green.
Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. Your score here at halftime, Scott County 27, Pulaski County 21. If we can get Toby Murray to turn the lights on, at our age we need all the outside resources we can. Looking at your scoring plays, Scott County in the scoring column first, 6:04 to go, first quarter. Scott County's Noah Hughes, a 1-yard run. Tyler Dummer's kick fails. Scott County 15 plays, Coach Mangley, 80 yards. 5:56 off the clock, up early, 6-0. Pulaski County comes back with 1:14 to go in the first quarter. Jake Johnson, a 6-yard touchdown pass from Riley Hall. Derek Burgett's kick is good. 7 plays, 75 yards, 1:39 off the clock. Pulaski County first lead of the ball game, 7-6. Scott County didn't take them long at all. If you look at it, exactly 21 seconds. Kendrick Hamilton, a 67-yard run. Tyler Dummer's kick is good. 1 play, 67 yards, 14 seconds off the clock. Scott County regains the lead, 13-7. Scott County opened up the scoring in the second quarter. Keith Guy, 7-yard run. Tyler Dummer's kick is good. The Guy run caps off a 4-play, 56-yard drive for Scott County. 1:15 off the clock. Scott County first 13-point lead of the ball game, 20-7. Pulaski County back at 9:30 to go in the second quarter. Jalen Conwell, 4-yard run. Derek Burgett's kick is good. 6 plays, 80 yards, 1:25 off the clock. Pulaski County gets it back down to 6, 20-14. 7:51 to go in the first half. Keith Guy, 19-yard touchdown run. Tyler Dummer's kick is good. Scott County completes a 5-play, 76-yard drive. 1:32 off the clock. Scott County gets the lead back up to 13, 27-14. Pulaski County wasn't done. 3:57 to go in the first half. Mason Helton takes a direct snap 5 yards deep. Goes in for a 1-yard touchdown run. Burgett's kick is good. 11 plays, 85 yards, 3:48 off the clock. 27-21 is your halftime score. What we'll do is we'll take a timeout. We'll come back. The governor, he'll go over the team and individual stats here on the Scott County Sports Network at halftime. We got a good one. Scott County 27, Pulaski County 21. Back right after this.
Steve Skierman, agency manager at the Scott County Farm Bureau Insurance, would like you to know that as your local insurance agent, he is right here in your community, ready to help you with all your insurance needs. In the event of a loss, you can count on Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance to help you through it. We have local claims adjusters to serve you at your time of loss. We are knowledgeable about our community and can provide valuable assistance and advice when needed. Call the office today at 502-863-2454 for a free, no-obligation quote. Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, big on commitment. Georgetown Community Hospital is a 75-bed acute care facility with an award-winning history providing excellence in health care. Georgetown has been named one of the best places to work in Kentucky for 5 of the last 6 years. The hospital continues to add new medical services and to grow the number of specialists and primary care physicians. It also features an award-winning ICU, medical surgery unit, and 24-hour emergency services. Georgetown Hospital, located on Lexington Road in Georgetown, Kentucky, here for your needs 24 hours a day.
Welcome back to the Scott County Pulaski County football game. Here at the half, it's your Cardinals 27 and the visitors Pulaski County 21. Looking over team stats, we'll look first for Pulaski County. They've got 21 points. They have 9 first downs. They're 15 rushing plays for 38 yards. Passing, they have a total of 200 on 10 of 15 completions. Total offensive plays 30 for a total of 238 yards. They're one kickoff return for a total of 14 yards. They've got 2 punts for 34 yards. They've had 2 penalties in the first half for a total of 15. They have possessed the ball for 8.58 minutes. Third down conversions, they're 5 of 7. And in the red zone, they've been there 3 times and they've scored 3 times. Looking at your Scott County Cardinals, 27 points on the board. They have 14 first downs. 33 rushing attempts, 267 yards, 50 yards passing on 2 of 3. Total plays, 36. Total offense, 317 yards at halftime. They're 2 of 2 for punt returns. Kickoffs, they've got 2 returns for 39 yards. Punts, they've had 2 for a total of 33. They've had 1 fumble, and they've recovered it. Penalties, they've got 3 for 20. They've possessed the ball for a little bit over 15 minutes. They're 3 of 6, 50% on third down conversions. They're 1 for 1 on fourth down conversions. And again, Scott County being really effective in the red zone is they're 3 of 3. That's your team totals for the first half. We're going to take a break and talk to one of our great sponsors here on the Scott County Sports Network, and we'll be back to go over the individual totals in just a minute. You're watching Scott County football on the Scott County Sports Network.
The Hilton Garden Inn, Georgetown, is proud to be the exclusive hotel provider for Scott County Athletics. As Georgetown's premier hotel, Hilton Garden Inn provides comfortable accommodations, flexible meeting space, and a full-service restaurant just inside the lobby. Come join us for daily home-cooked specials in the All-American Grill, which is open for both breakfast and dinner. A winning team, the Scott County Cardinals, and the Hilton Garden Inn, Georgetown.
United Bank, together with you. We offer all the services you're looking for in a financial institution: convenience, great accounts, internet banking, and attentive customer service. With today's hectic pace, it's good to know United Bank meets your needs with locations right where you need them. With 13 offices in Scott, Jessamine, Fayette, and Woodford counties, 24/7 access to cash at our branch ATMs and the Bluegrass Cash locations in Lexington, United Bank is together with you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing.
Welcome back. It's halftime at Toyota Stadium, 27-21. Your Scott County Cardinals are up over the visiting Pulaski County Maroons. Looking at the individual stats for the first half. First for the visitors on the scoreboard, Pulaski County. Jalen Conrail had 8 carries for a gain of 34 yards, 1 touchdown, average of 4.2. Riley Hall, the outstanding quarterback, had 6 carries for a total of 3 yards, basically. His longest was 9, but again, he had 15 yards worth of loss, so it averaged out to just 3 net gain. Mason Helton was 1 carry, 1 yard for the touchdown. Passing, Riley Hall is 10 of 15, total of 200 yards, 1 TD, been sacked twice. Looking at receiving, Jake Johnson, big first half, 6 catches, 94 yards, 1 TD. Trevor Ridner, 1 catch, 65 yards. Jalen Conrail, 1 catch, 17 yards. George Gregory, 1 catch for 13 yards. On punting, George Gregory's had 2 punts, 68 yards, averaging 34 yards. Kick returns, there's been 1. Jason Conwell had a 14-yard return. Mason Helton leads them with a total of 5 tackles. That's 4 unassisted and two solos. Jason Mobley's got 4 unassisted. George Gregory's got 4 total, 3 unassisted, 2 assists. Ricky Maxey's got 4, 2 unassisted, and 4 assisted. Switching over and looking at your Scott County Cardinals, Keith Guy had a big first half, 14 carries, 133 yards, 2 touchdowns, averaging 9.5 yards a carry. Kendrick Hamilton, 4 carries, 90 yards, long one being a 67-yard touchdown run, averaging 22.5 yards a carry. Noah Hughes, 8 carries, 27 yards, 3.4 average. Josh Davis, quarterback, had 4 carries for 18 yards, averaging 4.5. Josh Davis, 2 of 3, 50 yards completion. His long one's been a 43-yard to Ken Covington, who's got 1 catch. Kendrick Hamilton also has 1 catch for 7 yards. Josh Davis had to punt it twice, total of 66 yards, averaging 33 yards. Dylan Smith had 2 punt returns for a total of 2 yards. Pulaski County's done a great job on punt coverage tonight. Kick returns, Keith Guy's got 1 for 22 yards. Keyshawn Brent has 1 for 17. On the defensive side of the ball, Eric Abney has 4 unassisted tackles. Keyshawn Brent has 3 unassisted tackles. Jeremiah Happy has 3 unassisted tackles, and KJ Christopher has 2 unassisted tackles. Those are your individual stats for the first half. We have a great football game here. 27-20, your Scott County Cardinals over the visiting Pulaski County Maroons. We're going to take another break here and hear from a great sponsor. You're watching Scott County Cardinal football on the Scott County Sports Network.
Steve Skierman, agency manager at the Scott County Farm Bureau Insurance, would like you to know that as your local insurance agent, he is right here in your community, ready to help you with all your insurance needs. In the event of a loss, you can count on Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance to help you through it. We have local claims adjusters to serve you at your time of loss. We are knowledgeable about our community and can provide valuable assistance and advice when needed. Call the office today at 502-863-2454 for a free, no-obligation quote. Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, big on commitment. Georgetown Community Hospital is a 75-bed acute care facility with an award-winning history providing excellence in health care. Georgetown has been named one of the best places to work in Kentucky for 5 of the last 6 years. The hospital continues to add new medical services and to grow the number of specialists and primary care physicians. It also features an award-winning ICU, medical surgery unit, and 24-hour emergency services. Georgetown Hospital, located on Lexington Road in Georgetown, Kentucky, here for your needs 24 hours a day.
For oral surgery, you need a surgeon you can trust and feel at home with. Consider Dr. Robert Henderson at Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery, specializing in wisdom teeth extraction, surgery to prepare for dentures, biopsies, corrective jaw surgery, TMJ disorders, and dental implants. All outpatient procedures are performed right here in our office. We participate with most insurance, we offer care credit, and take care of all the paperwork. Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery will give you a lot to smile about.
Scott County Physical Therapy is a privately owned physical therapy practice specializing in outpatient orthopedics, sports and industrial rehab, neurological rehabilitation, low back pain, neck pain, and arthritic conditions. Our mission is to provide the highest quality physical therapy to assist each individual and the community at large. Scott County Physical Therapy, a journey to wellness. To contact the physical therapist and Scott County Physical Therapy, please dial 502-863-4242. Scott County Physical Therapy is the title sponsor for Scott County Athletics.
Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. We're at halftime. Out on the field, they're introducing the Youth Scott County Football League players, one team at a time. One thing about it, Mark, you look down here, you see about 9,000 kids, it seems like. Youth football, very popular in Scott County, and it looks like the cupboard is definitely not bare with all the youth players we see out here. And again, I want to say a special shout out. Don't have the names of the individuals, but a special shout out to all the coaches, because without the coaches, Youth League sports wouldn't be what it is today. So that's all for every gentleman out there trying to help, male and female, help their teams and help promote football here in Scott County. So, Mark, under 2 minutes to go here before we get back to action, 27-21. Scott County got out early, but Pulaski County's matched them step for step. Scott County up 6. What are your thoughts?
Well, Mike, I think any time at a halftime, no matter what sport you look at, the first 3 minutes of the second half is probably the most important 3 minutes of the game. I think Scott County's got to really set the tone early on the defensive side of the football and get a stop and get the ball back for their offense. They've got to keep Pulaski County from coming from behind. I don't think they want to let Pulaski County get up on the scoreboard. I think you'll see them gain confidence and open things up a little bit more. So I really think it's important for Scott County to come out and get a 3-0 stop and get the football back for their offense.
Mark, another thing, looking at the scoring plays, I think we both kind of thought coming into the ball game there would be a lot of big plays, and so a lot of quick touchdowns. We did have a bunch of them, a minute 39-yard drive, 14-second drive, a minute 15, a minute and a quarter, a minute 32-second drive. So most of the plays have been what we thought, quick, big play scores. But Scott County come out and took 6 minutes to drive down in the first possession of the ball game and score. And Pulaski County came back for their last score and took almost 4 minutes. So any thoughts about the fact that both teams have been able to have long play drives?
Well, I think the thing that Pulaski County, talking about them first, because that was the biggest notice. We talked about Conway getting in a little bit more of a running. He got some momentum going there. They saw something up in the booth because all of a sudden they started having some success with some cutback runs and some plays they were calling for his number. So I really think they picked something up in the press box. And for them, I think it balanced them out a little bit because all of a sudden Before, Scott County was pinning their ears back and going because everything was a pass play, and if they could get to Connor Hall or to Hall before he could get released the football, they were causing some problems. Now all of a sudden those linebackers got to stay at home a little bit because of the run game. So I think to see them take 4 minutes was a good coaching move on something they picked up. Scott County's first drive, I think, you look at that, they have the ability. I quit trying to calculate them on a time of possession 3 years ago because before they would take 4, 5, and 6 minutes to score every football game. Over the last 3 years, man, that 1 year, the state championship year, man, they averaged almost a minute or less for a score. So I don't take much into that as far as Scott County's offense is concerned, but I really think Pulaski County got balanced there in their last drive, and it really enabled them to score. And let's see what they do coming out of the second half.
And Pulaski County actually went into some different sets. They had the one play where they had 4 guys down on one side, and then they had the one big play to the tight end, number 81 for them. Make sure I get his name right. Trevor Ridner had a big play. So, Pulaski County's doing a little bit of wrinkles. I think that's how they're being successful. Pulaski County's doing a decent job stopping that fullback dive with Noah Hughes. They're doing a great job taking Glenn Covington out of the game. But Pulaski County needs some work on the runs to the edges because Keith Guy and Dylan Smith and Kendrick Hamilton, they getting the ball to the edge. They're not trying to beat the outside contained guy, but they're going between him and the line, and they're making some big plays.
Well, they are, and I think what they're doing there is they're picking the lesser of 3 evils of what you want to do. Number one, you don't want to let Covington have the kind of game he did last year because he's really the only passing threat that you got. So if you take him away, you're really forcing Scott County to run the football. The fullback dive sets everything else up and opens up so many different options. If you take that away, yeah, you're going to beat me some on the sweep, but I'm telling you, I think I can stop you enough on the sweep to win the football game, and I think that's what Johnny Hines is doing. Again, we've talked about the last 3 years. When you look at Keith Guy, Kendrick Hamilton, Dylan Smith, fullback Noah Hughes, does it get much better for a coach when you say, okay, I want to give the ball here, here, and here? I don't have to worry about one guy being taken out, and I think that's what you're seeing tonight is Scott County's taking what the defense is giving them.
And the thing about Scott County, somehow Coach McKee has been able to get into the heads of his players. They don't care who has success because they know every night potentially if their play is open, they're going to get the football, and Coach McKee is going to feed you. He doesn't care what your number is or what your press clippings are. If you're open, he's going to get you the football, and I think that breeds success for Scott County as well. So let's do this. Let's take a timeout. We'll come back. Go get yourself something to drink, get a bathroom break. It's going to be a good second half here on the Scott County Sports Network. We'll be back right after this.
The Shanghai Express Chinese Restaurant is a locally owned restaurant located in the Indian Acres Shopping Center in Georgetown, Kentucky. Tony would like to invite everyone to come on by and dine in the spacious dining room that can host groups both small and large. Shanghai Express has been voted the best Chinese restaurant in Georgetown, Kentucky multiple years in a row by the Georgetown News Graphic. Stop by the restaurant or give Tony a call at 502-868-6858 to enjoy the best Chinese food in Central Kentucky.
Sports Connection is your team and retail sporting goods and custom athletic apparel supplier. Sports Connection is located next to Kroger in the Washington Square Shopping Center in Georgetown. Sports Connection can outfit your team from hats to shoes and everything in between. Drop by or call Daryl, Scott, or Jessica at 502-570-0280. Sports Connection, a proud sponsor and athletic and sporting goods supplier to Scott County and Georgetown College athletics.
Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. We're getting set for the kickoff to start the second half. Tyler Dummer will be kicking off for Scott County. We'll give a special shout out to the Kentucky National Guard. They've chosen this game as the National Guard Battle of the Week. Scott County, Pulaski County. Battle of 2 top 5 teams, and it's pretty much lived up to the billing. 27-21. Scott County with the lead. Pulaski County will get the football to start the second half, and Mark, both teams' kickers are doing a great job kicking the ball into the end zone, taking out that special teams play potential for both offenses.
Yeah, the special teams, at least the kick return game, has just been non-existent tonight because of the kickers. But that's how important that kicking game is, because that's a tremendous weapon, because you usually got a special athlete on these kickoff and punt returns that you want to see electrify the crowd and get everybody pumped up with a big run and a long touchdown possibly. And they're just not getting to play tonight.
Well, you look down here, Jalen Conwell, number 33. We talked about how great a job he's been doing running. He's back deep for Pulaski County. And then on Scott County side, you got Keith Guy and Dylan Smith. So a lot of electricity, but you can't, start the fire, so to speak, if you're in the end zone. So Tyler Dummer set to kick off. He'll be kicking off and the ball will be going north to south. Dummer with the kick. It's going to be a line drive. It's going to be a bouncer. And Conwell loses it, picks it up at the half-yard line. Scott County should have good contain here. Conwell makes one of them miss. We're going to flag Tyler Braxton with the tackle on the 18-yard line. We have a flag. It's probably going to be a holding penalty against Pulaski County. We'll wait and see. And if it is, it'll be half a distance to the goal line.
Yeah, holding.
Penalty is holding against Pulaski County. And again, anytime that you bobble the ball and you have to go backwards to pick it up, that's pretty much a no-no. So Scott County's defense has Pulaski County pinned up. It's going to be inside their 10-yard line, right at the 5. So Pulaski County, 95 yards to go. They're down 6 as we start the third quarter. Riley Hall still in at quarterback for Pulaski County. 3 receivers down here to the bottom. Now make it 4 receivers on the right, on the left side. Jake Johnson in the slot. Riley Hall back. His pass intended a pick play right there.
Wow, and there's a great pick play
and
too.
And George Gregory comes up hobbling right there. Again, the 2 Scott County defenders basically ran into themselves. And once they did that, Gregory was wide open. It looks like he might have injured himself.
Ball was just a little bit behind him, Mike, just a tad. But one that I think he'd like to have another opportunity. But you called it right. It was a great play because it looked like he was throwing into a big crowd, and then all of a sudden the only one behind was Gregory.
You got to watch right here. Typically this lineup right here, they look for Jake Johnson on the slant play. Scott County's double teaming him with Dylan Smith and Kendrick Hamilton. Gregory with the pitch. And right into Gavin Hernandez. I tell you what, if George Gregory's leg wasn't hurting then, I know his chest is hurting right now because he ran right into Gavin Hernandez.
Yeah, and he's a little slow. Looks like a cramp.
I think I'd have a cramp too. What do you think? So no gain on the play. 3rd down and 10. A big play offensively for Pulaski County. And more importantly for the Scott County team, a big play defensively right here.
Well, yeah, because like I said, you got the break off the bobble off the kickoff return. You keep them down here, make them punt out of their end zone, you're going to have great field position.
So Hall right at the end zone line. He's back. 3-step drop. Trying to keep the play alive. And he throws it to Jake Johnson. In front of it is Keith Guy. Good job defensively by Keith Guy. As the ball goes up, Raleigh Hall throws it intended for Jake Johnson. Keith Guy cuts in front of it. And Scott County is going to get the football back as Pulaski County, George Gregory is their punter, and he's having a cramp. We're going to see what happens right here.
He's going to come in and try to kick it. Now, my question is right here, if you're Scott County, do you go after him or you set up the return? Because you're going to have great field position. I'm thinking you go after the return.
I'll tell you after this play.
I figured that's how you'd want to call it.
I learned from the best. So Gregory about 2 yards away from the end line in the end zone. They kind of went for it, but he gets the kick off. Dylan Smith needs to get out of the way. Dylan Smith scares me to death. He picks the ball up. And a great job by Mr. Gregory. Scott County's pushed all the way back out to the 45-yard line.
Jake New on the tackle. But again, Scott County's got great field position. They're starting inside the 50.
And you like the confidence of Dylan Smith, but sometimes you just got to let the ball bounce because you don't want to turn over in that situation. So Scott County, enough editorializing by me. Scott County starts 1st and 10 on the Pulaski County 45-yard line. Chalk one up for the defense as they hold Pulaski County 3 and out on the first play of the third quarter. Scott County, normal starting offense out there. Josh Davis, Noah Hughes, Kendrick Hamilton. And they give the ball to Noah Hughes. He hops over one of his own tacklers, or one defenders, Trey Bender. Picks up 8. And if you don't stop that play.
Yep, Noah Hughes says if Keith Guy can jump, I can get some hops too.
So 2nd down and a long 2 for Scott County. Jordan Darnell in at the tight end spot on the left side. Josh Davis, they give it right back to Noah Hughes. He picks up 3. Ball on the ground. Ball still on the ground, and it's going to be picked up by Josh Davis. This would have been a 1st down. Noah Hughes uncharacteristically lets the football hit the ground. Jordan Darnell had a hand on it for a second, and Josh Davis picks it up. So it goes from a 1st and 10 for Scott County to a 3rd down and 6.
Just a nice job of getting down on the football, though.
Dylan Hopkins down here on the left side has gone one-on-one with Glenn Covington. This time he's going to go to the left side. He'll draw Drew Whitaker. Offsides, Pulaski County. That'll make it 3rd down and 1 if that is the case.
Wow. Big mistake right there for Pulaski.
Uncharacteristic for a team as well coached as Pulaski and Scott County. They very seldom, Scott County do, they jump off sides on a quick hard count. Pulaski County got caught right there, and this time it'll be 3rd and 1, much more manageable down and distance for Scott County. Covington down to the bottom of your screen. They're going to hand it off to Keith Guy, and Keith Guy is able to make a miss, and he goes from a 4-yard loss to a 14-yard pickup just like that, Mark, and that was all Keith Guy.
That was all Keith Guy, and when you get contact, you have got to wrap him up, and that's the thing that you've watched, and we've talked about it over the years with different running backs, but the maturation of where you keep the legs moving and you're patient and don't try to just run straight to the sidelines and beat them. Be patient, let the hole open up, and the thing that Keith Guy's got, he's got that extra gear. As you said earlier, Mike, he's as fast as he needs to be.
Now, the one thing that still gets me, though, Mark, and we'll talk about it more here later, is every Scott County running back is jumping up into the air over top of somebody. So Davis, left side, looking to pass. Good block by Keith Guy. Pulaski County's wanting a foul. It was close. You could have got it either way, but it looks like he got his helmet on the...
I thought it was on the inside.
On the front side of the body of the blocker, so it's going to be a pickup of 3 yards. 2nd down and 7.
Nice job right there by Josh Davis. He took what they gave him and didn't force it. Wasn't open.
Covington splits extremely wide down here to the bottom of your screen. Hand off to Keith Guy. Keith Guy this time goes up the middle.
Touchdown.
And Keith Guy in untouched. I'll have to look at the replay, but I don't think he got touched. So 8:42 to go here in the third quarter. Flag at the 10-yard line. It's probably going to be holding against Scott County, so we're going to bring it back. But still, a heck of a run by Scott County's Keith Guy. Penalty is holding. So it's at the 10-yard line, so it'll make it 2nd down and 9 for Scott County at the 20.
Pulaski County getting a little bit of a break here. Let's see if they can take advantage of it. Scott County really could put them in the hole, Mike, if they get a score here and this early in the first half. It's going to keep the pressure on Pulaski to have to score. I don't think they can go 3 down.
So Scott County up 27-21 here, 8:42 to go here in the third quarter. 2nd down and 9 for Scott County. Quick give up the middle to Noah Hughes. He's brought down from behind by number 53, Brandon Goodling.
266-pound nose tackle.
Tackle by Goodling.
So 3rd down, 6 yards to go for Scott County.
Scott County.
Covington wide to the left. Hand off to Hamilton. He's up the middle. He's going to pick up a 1st down and more. It'll be a gain of 11 yards for Kendrick Hamilton. And you got to say hats off to all of Scott County's running backs. They're doing a great job of picking the spot, and then once they get the spot, they go north and south. So it'll be 1st and goal at the 9-yard line for Scott County. Under 8 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Scott County up 6 and threatening again. Noah Hughes straight up the middle over top of the Pulaski defender.
Christian Holman was there and got knocked back a little bit.
He'll get down to the 3-yard line.
Pulaski County looks a little tired right now, Mike.
And one thing about it, we still got a lot of time to go in this ball game, but Coach McKee, got to give him hats off and props. He's about the best I've seen as far as running the clock. So Pulaski County cannot get down too much because Coach McKee will run this ball game out. So 2nd down and goal from the 3. Handoff, and Keith Guy stops, goes the other way. Picks up about a yard and a half. It'll be third down and goal from just outside the 1 yard line for Scott County.
Along with Vaught.
Covington goes wide to the right side. He's being checked one-on-one by Dylan Hopkins, but they got that safety over there, number 20, Christian Holman's kind of cheating.
Yeah, he is.
Noah Hughes up the middle for a 2-yard touchdown, and Coach McKee's going to pull the trigger right here and go for 2. Mark, good call or not?
I think right at this point it's probably as good a gamble to do it at any point as this time, because like I said, you got a chance to put them down by
2 touchdowns.
Yeah, with the chance of going 3 if they don't score. That's what I'm saying. You're really putting pressure if you convert here on the next possession offensively for Pulaski.
Good time for the dagger. So 33-21, Scott County up, going for the 2-point conversion.
There's movement.
It's going to be movement, and Covington catches it in the end zone, gets both feet down, but it's going to be a false start. Scott County. Right here, Coach McKee comes in for the extra point variety. Here comes in Tyler Dummer. Covington makes the play and gets both feet inbounds, but the penalty makes it all for naught. 6:41 to go. 33-21. Scott County a chance to get it back up to 13. Dummer in for a little bit longer extra point than usual. This one will be from 25 yards. Pulaski County going for the block, and Dummer splits the uprights. Nope, they're going to say it's no good. I thought that one was good there, but regardless of my opinion, 33-21 is your score. 6:41 to go here on the Scott County Sports Network. We'll be back right after this.
Well, there's a big name in cars that we all know.
Over 40 years, and Frank Shoup in Georgetown is still a big name in cars.
He's big on service and he's big on deals. He sells all the biggest names on wheels. Frank Shoup's a new tradition. Bring on the competition. Frank Shoup is gonna set the pace.
Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. 6:41 to go, third quarter. Scott County gets the lead up to 12. However, uncharacteristically, Scott County's missed 2 extra points tonight, and the wrinkle there, Scott County was set to go for 2 to try to get the lead back up to 14, but they had a false start penalty, Mark. First one for Scott County tonight. And again, Tyler Dummer misses from the extra point from 25 yards. Scott County up 12.
Well, and like I said, this is a big possession, though, if you're Pulaski County. You've got to get some points on the board here. You can't give the football back to Scott County with a chance to go up 3 touchdowns.
So Dummer set to kick. Jalen Conwell. Christian Holman back deep for Pulaski County. The kick is up. Conwell tried to catch it right at the end line, but he tried to get his hands above his head, and that's tough to do with shoulder pads on. So the ball into the end zone, touchback again, 6:41 to go. Pulaski County starts the possession. 1st and 10 at the 20.
Sailed into the end zone for a touchback. Pulaski takes over 1st and 10 from 1.
So Riley Hall out for the Maroons, still at quarterback. He's a good one. They got the big tight end out wide right. That's number 80. Trevor Ridner. They drop it off to Johnson. Johnson picks up about 9. They're going to give him a pickup of 10. He's drug out of bounds by Keyshawn Brent. Jake Johnson's a good football player, isn't he, Mark?
Yeah.
They give Keith Guy credit for the tackle. 1st and 10. Pulaski County at the 30-yard line.
It's his 7th catch of the night, Mike. Had 6 at halftime.
3 wide receivers to the left. They hand it off to Conwell. Conwell goes right side, makes a defender miss. Brought down by Scott County at the 35-yard line.
Conwell on the carry.
On the tackle, Noah Kane, number 66. Along with Keyshawn Brent, number 1. 1st down and 5. Our 2nd down and 5 for Pulaski County. Into the ball game on the defensive side. Double duty, Mark. Offensive lineman Trey Bender. In to play defensive end. trips to the left. Now make it 4 wide receivers left, 1 wide receiver right. Hall goes back. A little bit of pressure. He scrambles to stay wide open, and Keith Guy read that one to a T. They were going for Trevor Ridner. Keith Guy catches the ball in his hands about 2 yards in front of him, but drops it as he goes out of bounds. 3rd down and 5, Pulaski County. Under 6 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Scott County up 12, 33-21. Raleigh Hall back with the football in his hands. And a tackle by the interior of the Scott County line. Jeremiah Happy says, if you don't know who did it, it was me. So Jeremiah Happy with the quarterback sack.
And give coverage part of that credit, too, because there was nobody downfield. They made him pull it down and have to look for something to do.
The Scott County nose tackle, Jeremiah Happy, had a great ball game last week. 3 solo tackles, 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss, and he picks up a sack right there. 4th down and 8. Pulaski County back to punt. Is number 20, Christian Holman. So George Gregory must be hurt a little more than we thought. Back deep for Scott County is Dylan Smith. Dylan Smith catches it at the 34 on a knee. So that means Scott County will start the possession at the 34-yard line. A good job by Pulaski County.
Well, Mike, and this is Scott County can really.
And Mark, that might have been Devin Vault, number 28, punting. I'm not for sure. We'll make sure we catch that the next time. Under 5 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Scott County the lead at 12. A chance to extend the lead. And this is a big defensive stop Pulaski County needs to have right here.
Yeah, Scott County can really put a couple nails in the coffin right here if they can punch this in.
So Covington wide right. Josh Davis give up the middle to Noah Hughes. Mason Helton on the tackle for Pulaski County, along with Devin Vaught. 2-yard pickup, 2nd down and 8. Scott County. Josh Davis running over and getting the play call from Coach McKee. I bet he runs, about 4 miles a ball game as the quarterback for Scott County. In motion, Keith Guy. Quick pitch out to Dylan Smith. Smith runs right into number 51, better known as Mr. Mink, Daniel Mink, the nose tackle. And another cramp, Pulaski County. And we have an official timeout. What we'll do is we'll take a timeout as well. 4:01 to go, 33-21. Scott County 3rd and 10 when we come back on the Scott County Sports Network.
The Hockensmith Agency is proud to call Scott County home. We're your Main Street insurance that blends tradition and innovation to offer the best quality service to our clients. By offering a wide range of coverage from the impressive list of major insurance companies, we truly meet your insurance coverage needs. Come visit us at 224 East Main in Georgetown or online at HockensmithAgency.com. The Hockensmith Agency, providing coverage for the motorist insurance.
Back live, Daniel Mink hobbles off the field. Pulaski County. 3rd and 10, Scott County. They go up to the air to Covington. Covington's wide open. You're going to get pass interference right there.
Oh, they're going to say,
call that incomplete. Pretty much that was a forearm shiver from Drew Whitaker right into the chest of Glenn Covington with a ball in the air. Coach McKee can't be happy with that one. That was an obvious pass interference call.
They made no play to the ball. I mean, typically when that contact occurs and he doesn't turn his head to at least identify the ball, it's almost automatic. But
so 4th down and 10, Josh Davis in to punt for Scott County. Back deep for Pulaski County, Jake Johnson. Jake Johnson, the 6'2", 178-pound wide receiver, had a great ball game up to this point for Pulaski County. Fair catch by Johnson at the 40-yard line. 25-yard punt. And hats off to Pulaski County. The defense holds, and Pulaski County will start offensively at their own 40-yard line. Scott County, a golden opportunity missed right there. And again, they called the play. Still, I think that was a missed opportunity by the official. That was an obvious no intent to catch the football play by Pulaski County. But the flag wasn't thrown. Time to get over it. Scott County's defense has to step up here. 3:37 to go in the third quarter. Scott County up 12.
And Pulaski County gets a breath of life, Mike.
So Jake Johnson in the backfield with Raleigh Hall. Look for him to go in motion. They've got 3 wide receivers to the right. Ridner, the tight end, to the left. They hit the seam with number 44, Mason Helton, and he's still on his feet. Finally, Dylan Smith and KJ Christopher bring him down at the 20-yard line, or the 23-yard line, excuse me.
And Mike, KJ Christopher still down, it appears.
37-yard pickup by Mason County. So while Trainer Dan comes out and looks at KJ Christopher, we'll take a quick break. 3:29 to go. You're watching Scott County football on the Scott County Sports Network.
Time for oral surgery. You need a surgeon you can trust and feel at home with. Consider Dr. Robert Henderson at Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery. Specializing in wisdom teeth extraction, surgery to prepare for dentures, biopsies, corrective jaw surgery, TMJ disorders, and dental implants. All outpatient procedures are performed right here in our office. We participate with most insurance, we offer care credit, and take care of all the paperwork. Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery will give you a lot to smile about.
I understand, but he's got another sophomore.
Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. 3:29 to go. KJ Christopher still down on the turf, being looked at by Trainer Dan. Dan Volpe, one of the best around. Does a great job by the Scott County head trainer, Dan Volpe. Looks like he's going to help KJ Christopher up. 3:29 to go. 33-21, Mark. Big play there on the pass from Raleigh Hall to number 44, Mason Helton. And Mason Helton has woke up and says, I'm going to help. He scored on a keeper. He caught a big pass play earlier. Mason Helton, a big 33-yard pickup right there. And Pulaski County threatening again, down 12.
Well, and that's a big load. That man's 6'2", 225. You're going up against a defensive back right there. He's a load when he gets going downhill. But again, if you're Pulaski County, you got to be happy where you're at right now because you got a chance to cut this thing back to 6.
And KJ Christopher being hurt, he's the number 2 cornerback, kind of spares and gives Keith Guy a little bit of a breather. So Keith Guy is going both ways rest of the night. We'll see how much of an effect that has on Scott County. Clock moving, under 3:20 to go here in the third quarter. Riley Hall with Jake Johnson on the move to the left side. Looks right, trying to scramble. Drops it off to Jake Johnson. He catches it both feet inbounds at the 19-yard line. It's going to be a pickup of about 4, make it 5 yards. Second down and a long 5 for Pulaski County. Great night for football. Pulaski County brought a tons of fans. Scott County's filled their side as well. You've actually got fans at the end zone on the conference center side. You don't see that often. So a great crowd. Paying for what they are getting, what they paid for. Jalen Conwell.
Nice cutback.
What a run. 20-yard scamper, untouched. Jalen Conwell for Pulaski County. And the lead for Scott County is now down to 6. 33-27, 3:02 to go. Pulaski County, Derek Burgett in to attempt the extra point. He's been perfect tonight. Scott County has missed 2. In late for Scott County is number 17, Marvin Davis. And Burgett's kick is up and splits the uprights. 33-28. The lead down to 5, 3:02 to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. You're watching Scott County football with the lead, 33-28, here on the Scott County Sports Network.
Community Hospital is a 75-bed acute care facility with an award-winning history providing excellence in health care. Georgetown has been named one of the best places to work in Kentucky for 5 of the last 6 years. The hospital continues to add new medical services and to grow the number of specialists and primary care physicians. It also features an award-winning ICU, medical surgery unit, and 24-hour emergency services. Georgetown Hospital, located on Lexington Road in Georgetown, Kentucky, Here for your needs 24 hours a day.
Want me to pop it?
Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. Toby Murray doing a great job running the camera. Kevin Ritchie, an equally good job running the computer. Mark Walls and I just trying to get through. We're the Scott County Sports Network, 3:02 to go. 33-28. Team doctor in the house. If we have any ailments, we'll get those taken care of at one of our timeouts. Scott County has Keith Guy, Dylan Smith back deep at the 5-yard line. Derek Burkett, good job kicking it in the end zone for Pulaski County as well. 33-28. Pulaski County says we're not done yet. Defense makes a good stand. Offense makes a big play and then finishes with the 20-yard touchdown run by Jalen Conwell. Scott County on a good return by Keith Guy. He returns it out to about the 24-yard line. Under 3 minutes to go. It's been a long third quarter, Mark.
Yeah, it really has. I mean, Scott County, though, had a chance to put a couple nails in the coffin, and when unable to do it, Pulaski County capitalized. So, Mike, we've got a football game here. We're going to see what Scott County can do, try to protect this 5-point lead and take some time off the clock and maybe put some points on the board.
So Josh Davis still under center for Scott County. Hand off to Keith Guy. A great job there by number 64 for Pulaski County. Number 64, Jesse Hudson, kind of strung that out from his defensive tackle spot. Keith Guy had nowhere to go. Good job of staying at home by Pulaski County. Pick up a 3-yard, 2nd down and 7.
2nd and 6, Scott County.
Kendrick Hamilton around the left side. There's a great block by Keith Guy. One guy to miss. And I'll tell you what, number 28, Jake New might have made the tackle, but Kendrick Hamilton made him pay. As Kendrick Hamilton picks up about 5.5 yards.
Yeah, but you're right, Mike. That was a great block by Keith Guy to spring Kendrick on that side.
So Josh Davis under center. 3rd and short by Scott County. They give it to Noah Hughes. He makes one man miss, falls forward. And it's going to be close. We'll see where the spot is.
And Helton made a nice read right there, kind of blitzed from his inside linebacker spot, but unable to wrap Noah Hughes up. Give Noah credit for able to spin out of that, Mike. Great individual play.
So Kendrick Hamilton needing a breather right here. Simon Bond in for Scott County. They're going to say it's good enough for a 1st down if it was. It was by half a football. As Mason Helton did a great job. The inside linebacker tight end, Mark, he's just 6'3", 225. Covington out wide right. Still being one-on-one by Dylan Hopkins with a little bit of help from number 20, Christian Holman. The free safety. Peeking just a little bit. Keith Guy in motion. We got a flag. That's going to be a false start against Scott County probably. And that is the call. It'll be a 5-yard penalty. So Scott County have to start 1st and 15 at the 28-yard line.
And uncharacteristic, Mike. You didn't see those mistakes last week.
Make it the 29-yard line. Josh Davis trots into the huddle. Scott County, Simon Bond into the ball game wearing number 6. He's lined up to the right side in motion. Keith Guy. And there he is, wide open. Jordan Darnell, all he has to do is catch it. And they still didn't know he was going to get it. He's trying to outrun Hopkins, and he gets to the end zone.
Big play. There's that tight end.
66
Great play call.
Yards. And what got me, Mark, is even after the ball was up in the air, the defenders for Pulaski County were going to the sides. Nobody even knew that Jordan Darnell. So I reckon it goes to show if the tight end for Pulaski County, number 80, Trevor Ridner, can get wide open, somebody about half his size, and Jordan Darnell can hide as well. So a good pickup and a great call by Scott County as they get the lead back up to 11, under a minute to go in the first quarter. 67-yard touchdown pass, Josh Davis. 2.
We don't have a holder.
Eric Abney they've got plenty of time. 14 seconds to go, so Abney will come in. Kickers are funny, though. That's kind of messed up the rhythm. So Abney with the hold down. Dummer with the kick is no good. So Tyler Dummer, the woes still continue. 39-28 is the score. 57 seconds to go in the third quarter. We'll take a timeout. Scott County up 11. We'll be back right after this.
Whitaker bank shot. I'll give you a Whitaker bank shot.
Here's a real Whitaker bank shot.
Yes, sir. Here's a winning Whitaker bank shot.
Nice shot.
Whitaker bank shot. Now, there's a Whitaker bank shot.
Come on, Coach, honey.
I still got it.
Whitaker Bank, uniquely Kentucky.
Welcome back, Scott County. With a big touchdown play from Josh Davis to Jordan Darnell. What we'll do is let's show it to you here right quick. Here you see the play in motion is Keith Guy. They fake the handoff to Noah Hughes. Everybody bites, and you can see right here the ball's in the air, and the defender's going to the sidelines, and Jordan Darnell's wide open at the 40, and then he outruns number 12, Dylan Hopkins, who catches him at the 2-yard line, but he breaks through the tackle and scores. 67-yard touchdown run, Scott County's Jordan Darnell. That's one of those when you're like, oh my gosh, he's too wide open, but he makes the play and scampers 40 yards after the catch for the touchdown. Scott County up 11. But the woes for Tyler Dummer continue. He's missed 3 extra points tonight. And so the lead's at 11, should be at 14. He took out a little bit of frustration right there as the ball's kicked 9 yards deep into the end zone. So a minute to go, big touchdown by Scott County, wasn't it, Mark?
Really was, Mike. Like I said, that gives them that breathing room right there. And, if you're Pulaski County, you're thinking you missed an opportunity because, you had them 3rd and 15 and wasn't able to hold them.
So Pulaski County, no rest for the weary. Both offenses kind of pretty much running on all cylinders tonight. Riley Hall, wide receiver split. Jake Johnson to the right side. In motion. Riley Hall looking to the right. Just a little dump pass to Jake Johnson. Everything was executed perfectly except for one thing. Jake Johnson didn't hold on to the football.
Tried to run before he caught it.
Make it 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 for Pulaski County again. Special thanks to Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery, Dr. Robert Henderson. Art Morvay, Lynn Reeves over at Scott County Physical Therapy, and Frank Shoup Chevrolet, our corporate gold sponsors here on the broadcast. Handoff to Jalen Conwell. He goes left side, sees a hole, and he bursts right straight through it, picks up 9. Good move by Jalen Conwell. Conwell had 23 carries for 145 yards last week, 6.3 yard average, 1 touchdown. So what you're seeing tonight's no fluke out of Jalen Conwell. He's one of the good ones.
No, but they've seen something on upstairs in the box too, because like I said, he's cutting back on that, not even trying to get to the outside like he was early in the game.
Clay Moss goes out wide for Scott County. They give it to Conwell, goes to the left side. At the legs, the tackle is going to be by Tyler Braxton.
Conwell on the carry.
It's going to be a pickup good enough for a first down. It'll be 1st and 10 for Pulaski County. 34-yard line. I think both teams are going to realize they had a football game tonight. Both teams looking a little bit tired. Pulaski County looks a little more tired than Scott County. Hall splits and stays alive. Braxton drops it down for a 4-yard loss at the 30-yard line. Good job, Tyler Braxton and Keyshawn Brent. Braxton gets credit for the tackle, but pressure by Keyshawn Brent. Riley Hall had to get away and ran right into Tyler Braxton. That gets us to the end of the third quarter. When we come back, it'll be 2nd down and 14 yards for Pulaski County. Scott County 39, Pulaski County 28 through 3 quarters here. Great football game at Toyota Stadium. Take a timeout. We'll come back for the fourth quarter right after this.
The Hockensmith Agency is proud to call Scott County home. We're your Main Street insurance that blends tradition and innovation to offer the best quality service to our clients. By offering a wide range of coverage from the impressive list of major insurance companies, we truly meet your insurance coverage needs. Come visit us at 224 East Main in Georgetown or online at HockensmithAgency.com. The Hockensmith Agency, providing coverage for the Motorist Insurance Group for all your insurance needs.
People's Exchange Bank doesn't think you can get where you want to go by cutting corners, playing games, or sacrificing relationships. Roots take time to grow and give strength and stability. Since 1912, our banks and our people have been part of your community. And while our services continue to keep pace with your need for today's high-tech conveniences, we know that loyalty never grows old. You don't just need a bank, you need people. People's Exchange Bank. People serving people since 1912.
Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. Mike Ritchie, Mark Walls, Toby Murray, Kevin Ritchie. Bringing you Scott County football all season long here on the internet. Get set for the fourth quarter. It'll be second down and 14 for Pulaski County, Raleigh Hall. With a little bit of option, Mark. He keeps it, gets it up to the 36-yard line. Make it the 35-yard line, pick up a 4 yards.
Probably a smart play on his part to hold it. I was worried there for a minute he may try to pitch it.
3rd and 9. After the game by Raleigh Hall on the quarterback keeper.
Scott County going into a little bit of a zone defense here.
Hall looks left, hits Jake Johnson. He's going to be about a yard short, so it'll be 4th down and short for Pulaski County. A good play by Jake Johnson. He gets both feet in. However, unfortunately for Pulaski County, is about, they're going to say, a good yard short.
I think they're going to go for it right here.
Big stop needed here by Scott County. They're up 11, 39-28. They're going to give it to Jalen Conwell.
He's stopped. He is stopped.
Yep, it's going to be a lead.
Oh, he pitched it. Look at here.
And they're going to get it to Raleigh Hall, who gets out of bounds.
He stepped out of bounds.
At the 47-yard line. And that's one of those things where you look at momentum right there. His momentum was stopped. I don't know if that was a called trick play or what, but it looked like his momentum was stopped.
No, I don't think it was a called trick play. I think he just recognized he wasn't going to get there. I'm like you, though. The question is, he was stopped not once but twice. Could have easily been the whistle blown right there.
So a good heads-up play by Jalen Conwell to Raleigh Hall. He picks up 3. And Scott County got just as equal of a break as he stepped out barely, or he'd have been to the house for a long touchdown run. Scott County a little bit unclear in the defensive backfield. 1st and 10. Raleigh Hall on the slant to Mason Helton, and he's wide open down the middle. Gets run down from behind by Eric Abney.
And, Mike, they've gone to a zone coverage right here, and, that, be interesting to see if Monty decides to stay in that because that's going to open up some lanes.
29-yard touchdown, our pass play. We're going to get a timeout here.
Scott County,
Keith Guy, a little bit hobbled. So Scott County takes the timeout. 11:03 to go. Mason Helton with a great play. Pulaski County on the move. We'll be back right after this.
Steve Skierman, agency manager at the Scott County Farm Bureau Insurance, would like you to know that as your local insurance agent, he is right here in your community, ready to help you with all your insurance needs. In the event of a loss, you can count on Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance to help you through it. We have local claims adjusters to serve you at your time of loss. We are knowledgeable about our community and can provide valuable assistance and advice when needed. Call the office today at 502-863-2454 for a free, no obligation quote. Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, big on commitment.
Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. 11:03 to go. Scott County defensive timeout. I think that was to give Mr. Keith Guy a little bit of a breather. And, Mark, you asked the question, Scott County in that zone defense in the secondary, and Raleigh Hall, an assassin, looking at that kind of defensive coverage. And, again, you got to say Scott County's up 11. They're kind of playing the numbers. So Raleigh Hall has 4 receivers to the right. Jake Johnson goes to the left. You got to watch him on the slant. And there's the wide open tight end down the middle, and Raleigh Hall uncharacteristically misses the big man, number 80, Trevor Ridner.
Well, he had Trey Binder and Keyshawn Brent barreling down on him, so I think he had to get rid of that a little quicker than he wanted to.
Yep, Trey Bender, good job defensively tonight for Scott County.
Yeah, like you said, pulling double duty.
So this time they'll have 2 wide receivers on each side. Jalen Conwell in the backfield behind Raleigh Hall. Hall fakes the pass, gives it to Conwell straight up the middle. Conwell,
wow,
shoestring tackle by Keyshawn Brent. He's going to pick up 13 yards. It'll be first and goal, Pulaski County. The living legend and one of our newest members to the Scott County Hall of Fame, Chris Wilhite. Next week, they'll have the award ceremony. Chris Wilhite says come out. He'll take pictures with anybody that wants to show up. He'll give you $1 a picture. $2 a picture, he said. So first and goal at the 9-yard line. There's going to be a flag on the play. It looks like it's going to be a offside against Scott County. So mark a good Hall of Fame class, wasn't it? No, they called that on Pulaski County, didn't they? My bad.
He gave an offside signal, but they call false start.
So a false start against Pulaski County would be a first and goal from the 14, so a break for the Cardinals.
Yeah, Mike, to answer your question, another good class. Coach Chris Wilhite, baseball, basketball, and football. A.W. Hamilton, basketball, and Andrea Sabatini, the pole vaulter.
So Conwell goes left, stretches it out, picks his spots, picks up about 6. And also, let's don't forget, I think add tennis into there as well for Mr. Wilhite.
I just was reading what was listed on the
I
web.
Think maybe appeared in the state tournament 3 times. 3 times
for tennis.
Yes.
Hey guys, my name's Jack. How you doing?
So that's Jack Wilhite. We're trying to get him over his shyness. So Raleigh Hall up in the air, wide open is number 44, Mason Helton. And that's going to bring third down and about 9, make it 8 for Pulaski County.
Broken up by Eric Adney.
So again, A.W. Hamilton.
Third goal from the 8.
They shortchanged the tennis in the program.
Oh, well. To be honest with you, I don't think Mr. Wilhite cares. He likes the fact saying Scott County Hall of Fame. Devil in the details. Pulaski County calls timeout. 9:34 to go in the ball game. Scott County up 11. We'll be back for the third down play right after this.
Hi, Dick Stockton here. I've been announcing sports for over 40 years, and I know a winning team when I see one. Greens Toyota of Lexington has what it takes to win, which is why Greens is Kentucky's #1 Toyota dealer 2 years running. Family owned for over 40 years, Greens strives to give excellent customer service and best value for the dollar. No matter what department, parts, service, or sales, Greens continues to move forward doing business the right way every day. Be a part of Greens' winning team. Greens Toyota. Great people, great cars. Think green.
Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. Mike Ritchie, the governor, Mark Walls, Toby Murray, Kevin Ritchie. This one's going down the wire, 9:34 to go. Scott County up 11. Third down and 8 yards to go for Pulaski County. And Mark, what happens here?
You're 2 down territory, but I think what you'd like to see if you're Pulaski County, you'd like to see a run-pass option with Hall is what I'd like to try to do. That gives me 2 things to try to shoot for. I don't think you want to just drop back and throw it twice. I think you want to get positive yards on this play where it'll open up your playbook a little bit on 4th down.
So 3 wide receivers to the left as Jake Johnson goes in motion. You got to watch him on the slant play. Raleigh Hall goes to the left. And Scott County does a good job. Eric Abney cuts in front of the intended receiver, Mason Helton. Misses the opportunity for the interception, and the ball goes off of Abney, and Mason Helton almost makes the play.
Well, interesting call right here. He's going for the field goal.
Well, that gets them within 8.
That's a 1 score and a 2-point conversion.
Wow.
Quick on that, too. Andy wasn't even here.
She must be working with you at lunch. So 39-28, here comes. They were trying to fool Scott County. Instead, number 28 goes back. That'll be Jake News. He takes a knee at the 15-yard line. Derek Burgett with a 25-yard field goal attempt. Kicks it, and it's good. 9:22 to go. He kicked that one about 27 yards. 39-31 is your score. So Pulaski County within 8. 9:22 to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back for the kickoff right after this on the Scott County Sports Network.
United Bank, together with you. We offer all the services you're looking for in a financial institution: convenience, great accounts, internet banking, and attentive customer service. With today's hectic pace, it's good to know United Bank meets your needs with locations right where you need them. With 13 offices in Scott, Jessamine, Fayette, and Woodford counties, 24/7 access to cash at our branch ATMs, and the Bluegrass Cash locations in Lexington, United Bank is together with you. Member FDIC, Equal House.
Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. Pulaski County getting closer as they kick a 25-yard field goal off the toe of Derek Burkett and get to within 8. That means a touchdown and a 2-point conversion can tie this ball game up. First, though, Pulaski County has to hold Scott County here. 9:22 to go.
A lot of time left, Mike. A lot of time left.
Exactly 9 minutes, 22 seconds to go. There's the first onside kick. And I tell you what, we'll see who got that, but he almost waited a little bit too long. And that's going to be number 55.
That's Alex Miller.
Alex Miller.
The right tackle.
He was at the 10-yard line. He took 2 steps back, and he said, I better catch it. And Pulaski County had about 8 guys that were about a half a yard away, and Mr. Miller earned that one. So 1st and 10, Scott County at the 47-yard line. He called it after the fact, I think.
I was on top of that one, Mr. Ritchie.
So the governor calls the onside kick. Scott County recovers, so they'll have a good field position. Up 8. Noah Hughes, bulldozer straight ahead. Picks up about 9.5.
If you're going to stop him, you can't let the fullback dive, pick up that many positive yards on the first play. And I think, Mike, that's where you're talking about. We talked about Pulaski being a little tired and looking a little tired. I think that's where you're going to see it on that defensive front. Those guys have played a lot of minutes tonight.
So 2nd and short. They go right up the middle to Noah Hughes again. Noah Hughes picks up 10. And, Mark, I think you called it right there. If you're going to give Scott County 10 yards on the fullback dive back-to-back, it's going to be a long drive.
Well, and a short field to boot. What is it, 3 strikes and you're out?
In baseball. Clock is running, 8:35 to go. Scott County up 8 and moving here. 1st down and 10. 2 back-to-back first down runs by the bulldozer, Noah Hughes. And they're going to go Noah Hughes again. He's going to pick up, this time he's going to pick up 8.
Well, you got to give Coach McKee credit now. You know, he is historically, you're going to have to stop the play for him to quit running. And if they're not going to stop Noah Hughes, you're going to get fullback dive the rest of the game.
And that's like we said, the Scott County, the offensive players, whoever's hot, they don't mind them getting the football. And that's rare in today's high school athletics.
Well, he's chewing up the clock in addition to positive yards.
Here comes Keith Guy. He jumps over one, gets hit right in the chest. Great tackle there by number 23.
Initial hit by...
Make that number 20, Holman, Christian Holman.
And we got
Keith
2 guys
Guy
a little slow getting up.
Is down for Scott County. Also a lineman. We'll do this. We'll take a timeout as Trainer Dan does double duty as 2 Scott County players on the field. You're watching Scott County football. 39-31. The Cardinals up. 7:41 to go. Back after this.
JNL Pharmacy and Home Medical Equipment, located on South Broadway in Georgetown, Kentucky, is locally owned and operated by Scott County native Philip Johnson. J&L Pharmacy can meet all your prescription and compounding needs, and they will match all local pharmacy prescription cash prices, guaranteed. They have a convenient drive-through window, offer free local delivery, and are open 6 days a week. J&L can also provide you with all your home medical needs, including home oxygen with 24-hour emergency service. Stop by the store or give them a call at 502-863-9823 for all your pharmacy needs.
Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. Trey Bender hobbling off for Scott County. Keith Guy as well. Looks like both players look okay. And again, big decision by Scott County right there. Trey Bender working both sides of the line, offensively and defensively, and making his name known. Glenn Covington going to the wrong side. Coach McKee gets him over to the right side quickly. Third down and 4, Scott County. 7:40 to go in the ball game, up 8. Here's the play. Out into the flats, one-handed catch by Keith Guy. And he makes 2 guys miss and goes to the end zone. Keith Guy will get that replay. And, Mark, that's almost the play he made in the state championship game, that one-handed catch.
Well, you get him in open space like that, that's unfair for the defender.
And the thing about it is, so 7:26 to go, Scott County 45, Pulaski County 31. And Mark, the key thing right there is Keith Guy got up before the trainers got out there, so he was allowed to stay in the ball game. Pays off for Scott County. Tyler Dummer takes a half a step and kicks it through the uprights. So Scott County up 15, 46-31 here on the Scott County Sports Network. We'll be back with the highlights and the replay of the touchdown run by Keith Guy and much more here on the Scott County Sports Network.
Sports Connection is your team and retail sporting goods and custom athletic apparel supplier. Sports Connection is located next to Kroger in the Washington Square Shopping Center in Georgetown. Sports Connection can outfit your team from hats to shoes and everything in between. Drop by or call Daryl, Scott, or Jessica at 502-570-0280. Sports Connection, a proud sponsor and athletic and sporting goods supplier to Scott County and Georgetown College athletics.
Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. Scott County with a big touchdown at the hands of a one-handed catch by Keith Guy, who takes it into the end zone, making 2 guys miss. Kevin, let's show the replay right here. As you can see, to fake the run to Noah Hughes, everybody bites. Keith Guy wide open in the flat. One-handed catch at the 20. Little juke move right there. Makes the other guy miss. 2 guys miss. He goes into the end zone untouched. And right there, after he got hurt the play before, but he was able to get up and get out of the fray before Trainer Dan got there. So he stayed in the ball game. And, Mark, we saw the Pulaski County coaches. I think they were talking about should he be in or should he not. But regardless, touchdown catch by Keith Guy. Scott County up 15, 46-31. That was huge.
Very.
And Tyler Dummer, a little bit different technique right there. He took about a half a step and kicked it. So they're working with him.
Well, and the thing that was so important about that now the clock becomes even a bigger enemy to Pulaski County because you're not going to be able to take 5 or 6 minutes to try to score. You've got to score and score quick.
Yep, and Conwell catches it 5 yards deep. So 46-31 is your score. 7:26 is the time left on the clock. Scott County offense comes up big. And again, Mark, we talked about Keith Guy. That's the catch he made, a one-headed catch in the state championship game a couple of years ago. And that just shows his athleticism. He wasn't happy just catching it either. He makes one guy miss, makes another guy miss, and goes in untouched. So Raleigh Hall, still a lot of ammo left in the gun, so to speak. 3 receivers to the right, 2 receivers to the left. Empty backfield. Raleigh Hall back, looks for the slant. Jalen Conwell open right over the middle of the field. Nobody's there.
He beats Cooper Robb.
Cooper Robb gives it up.
Game.
30-yard pickup, 1st and 10, Pulaski County.
You're seeing a little bit of a different alignment here as we got more defensive backs in the game for Coach Monty as he's trying to line up and take care of this spread.
Yeah, and Jalen Conwell looks like he's got a cramp. So the 3rd player for Pulaski County with cramps. So it'll be a timeout. Looks like they're going to get him up, so we'll stay right here. Jalen Conwell with cramps on that left leg.
And the thing about cramps, Mark, for people that don't realize it, you can't fix them after you get them. I mean, you got to prepare the day before, mainly to keep from getting cramps. Once you have them in a football game or any athletic contest, it's just a battle of what you can tolerate pain-wise, because they don't go away. Back in our day, salt pills, right?
And pickle juice.
We're kind of dating ourselves, but you're a little older than I am. 46-31 is the score. 7 minutes to go in the ball game. In motion to the left side, Jake Johnson. He's been quiet for a while. Comeback route for Johnson. He gets around 2 defenders and knocked out of bounds by Keyshawn Brent. And they're going to call a penalty on Keyshawn Brent and Eric Abney. And to be honest with you, same spot where Josh Davis had the contact earlier. So consistency is all you ask for. So that's going to be a 15-yard personal foul penalty against Scott County. So Pulaski County moving the ball quick.
Well, big break right there, too. You pick up that extra 15 yards. Can open up the playbook here as you're inside the red zone for Pulaski.
So it'll be 1st down and 10 from the 17-yard line for the Maroons of Pulaski County.
A little confusion, so Monty's got to take a timeout here.
So Coach McIntyre calls timeout. He comes out and talks to the Scott County defensive unit. We'll take a timeout as well. Scott County up 15, 46-31. Just under 7 minutes to go here on the Scott County Sports Network. The Shanghai Express Chinese Restaurant is a locally owned restaurant located in the Indian Acres Shopping Center in Georgetown, Kentucky. Tony would like to invite everyone to come on by and dine in the spacious dining room that can host groups both small and large. Shanghai Express has been voted the best Chinese restaurant in Georgetown, Kentucky multiple years in a row by the Georgetown News Graphic. Stop by the restaurant or give Tony a call at 502-868-6858 to enjoy the best Chinese food in Central Kentucky. Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. Coach McIntyre, the defensive coordinator for Scott County, comes out and tries to settle his troops. Scott County, KJ Christopher goes out hurt. Keith Guy a little hobbled as well. He's still playing the cornerback spot, but Cooper Robb in playing safety for the first time all night.
Wildcat with
There's
Helton.
that Wildcat with Mason Helton. I tell you what, I don't know, might need to call that bear or something as big as he is. Mason Helton goes 6'3", 225.
Nice job there by the front three of Scott County, because like I said, if he gets past him with all the defensive backs in the game right now, he's got a huge advantage, but they were able to catch him at the line.
So 2nd down and 7 to go for Pulaski County. 6.5 minutes to go in the ball game. Scott County looking blitz right here. They fake it and back off. Lob pass intended for Jackson Mobley along the left sidelines. A little bit too high, out of bounds, 3rd down and 8.
Nice coverage by Kendrick Hamilton from the linebacker spot.
So the thing about it, Mark, regardless of the outcome, the Scott County fans have been wanting good games in the regular season, especially here at home. This one's lived up to the billing. It's been a great ball game.
It's been a great high school football game.
So 3rd down and 8, big play call right here.
Mismatch with Cooper Robb and Ridner.
Riley Hall under pressure. Kendrick Hamilton forces him to throw it up out of bounds. And hats off to Keyshawn Brent and Kendrick Hamilton. They were able to apply pressure, but keep contained.
Well, and he adjusted on that spin that he used in the first half to get away from him, where he basically didn't overrun it. Nice job there by Kendrick Hamilton, seeing it for the second time and being ready for it. Now it's 4th and goal, and again, Pulaski's forced to go right here.
And they're going to call a timeout. So the biggest play of the ball game, 6:09 to go in the 4th quarter, 46-31, 4th down and about 7 for the Maroons. Head coach Johnny Hines says, give me a timeout, I'm going to talk about it. We'll take a timeout as well and pay the bills here on the Scott County Sports Network.
Time for oral surgery. You need a surgeon you can trust and feel at home with. Consider Dr. Robert Henderson at Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery. Specializing in wisdom teeth extraction, surgery to prepare for dentures, biopsies, corrective jaw surgery, TMJ disorders, and dental implants. All outpatient procedures are performed right here in our office. We participate with most insurance, we offer care credit, and take care of all the paperwork. Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery will give you a lot to smile about.
Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. Here's the ball game.
according to Jack Wilhite. 4th down and 7 from the 14-yard line. Pulaski County finds themselves down 15. 6:09 to go in the ball game. We'll see what head coach Johnny Hines is dialed up here for his Maroons. You got Conwell to the left side of Raleigh Hall. Watch the tight end. He's lined up close.
There's a pick across the middle.
Pick across the middle intended for Jake Johnson. A little bit too far outside the outstretched arms. And again, a great job by Noah Kane and number 62 for Scott County, Trey Bender. Glad to see him back in there after hobbling off. But hats off to the Scott County defense right there.
Well, and they were trying to run a pick play across the middle, and Scott County did a nice job of not getting caught up into that, and it just forced Riley to try to throw the perfect pass and just unable to do it right there.
So Kendrick Hamilton is going to the locker room. Hopefully nothing going on there. Scott County will get the football. 1st and 10 on the 14-yard line. And here you get to watch Coach McKee, a master at clock management for Scott County. And it also helps on the collegiate field. They use the shot clock. You're supposed to correct me, Jack. It's not the shot clock. It's the play clock.
Play clock.
There you go. So handoff
Noah
up the middle to Noah Hughes. Pick up of about 5 yards.
Scott County just wearing Pulaski's front line out right now.
So Jack Wilhite looking for a sponsor for the football games. He says if you sponsor him, he'll wear your T-shirt to every football game, home and away. So just contact Jack Wilhite. So 2nd down and 5, Scott County. 5:35 to go, 46-31. Scott County. Happy to grind it on the ground right here. Up 15. There's the give to Keith Guy. It makes one guy miss. Picks up
Dylan Smith.
Dylan Smith picks up 8, and it'll be a 1st down, Scott County. It's tough when it's an 8 and a 2 and you're old. So it'll be 1st and 10, Scott County, 27-yard line. Getting ready to go, under 5 minutes left. Pulaski County 13-2 last year, defeated by Pulaski Southwestern.
And Bowling Green.
Excuse me.
Only 2 games they lost en route to that
championship game over Graves County, 14-7. They beat Southwestern in the playoffs. So Scott County picks up 6 yards on the play, 2nd down and 4. Another great game by Josh Davis at quarterback for Scott County, making all the right moves. Kind of held on to the ball a couple times on some of the deep pass plays, but great job for the sophomore in his 2nd varsity start ever. Keith Guy, right side. A little bit of happy feet. He'll pick up 4. It'll be right at the 1st down marker. We'll see if they give it to him.
Guy, the ball carrier. Tackle by Hudson.
They're going to make it 3rd down.
Gain of 3, it'll be 3rd and 1 for Scott County.
So it'll be 3rd down and short for Scott County. Covington wide right. Noah Hughes up the middle. Easy 1st down. He's running with both hands on the football.
And that's the problem, Mike. When you start trying to blitz, you don't catch that fullback and he busts that first tackle, he's going to pick up big yards.
Yep, Noah Hughes picked up 10 yards or more about 4 times here in this 2nd half. So 3.5 minutes to go. 46-31. Time running out for the Maroons. Scott County more than content to running play after running play. And they're picking up 1st downs, running the football. That's a good recipe for success. There goes Dylan Smith. He bursts through.
Touchdown.
Scott County might have got away with a holding penalty there, and Dylan Smith's going to run to the house. 54-yard touchdown run. Scott County's number 8, Dylan Smith. Good job of blocking by the lineman.
Now, Kendrick Hamilton, has to run to the locker room, so you're sitting here for your Pulaski County thinking, okay, now I've just got to concentrate on Guy and Noah Hughes, and then in comes Dylan Smith, and he just busts you for a 50-yard touchdown run.
So 2:58 to go. Scott County 52, Pulaski County 31. Tyler Dummer in for the extra point attempt. We'll see if he does a half-yard step. He does. Kick is up, and the kick is good. 52-31. Under 3 to go in the ball game. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. Showing the replay of the nice 54-yard touchdown run by Dylan Smith here on the Scott County Sports Network.
Georgetown means great cars, great local sports, great people, and Galvin's, a great place where friends meet for great Galvin's food. Galvin's voted the best local restaurant in Georgetown. Enjoy a great specialty sandwich from Philly cheesesteaks to Strombolis. Bring the whole family. Watch the big games on the big screens. You'll watch the game. We'll make the munchies like our signature pizzas and home-cut potato chips. Galvin's on Main Street next to the courthouse. Join us on Facebook for all the latest Galvin's action.
Tell them they put the extra point on the wrong. Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. Mike Ritchie trying to do a little clock management. 53-31 is the score. We'll get the replay for you here after the kickoff. Like you said, Mark, Kendrick Hamilton goes to the locker room. Dylan Smith comes in, makes a guy miss. 54 yards, touchdown, Scott County, as they're up by 22. So Dummer with the kick. Back deep. Into the end zone. Jake Johnson. It'll be 1st and 10, Pulaski County. And again, the scoreboard, the final score is not going to reflect the evenness of the teams. But if you're 5A, I don't think I want to meet Pulaski County in the playoffs. What do you think?
No, they've got a lot of weapons. And, you can go back to just a couple things that happened. In the red zone, they weren't able to score, had to settle for a touchdown. The early possessions where they couldn't pick up any positive yardage running kind of made them one-dimensional, and that kind of hurt them here a little bit tonight.
Riley Hall back deep. Here comes the pressure from Scott County. He stays on his feet. Throws the pass intended for Tyler Harness, is caught at the 29-yard line, just inside the 30, so it'll be 2nd down. While we got a break here, Mark, let's look at this replay on a nice run by Dylan Smith. So it's a normal set. They fake the dive to Noah Hughes. Dylan Smith comes around, great contained block there by the lineman of Scott County. Once he gets to the edge, Scott County hasn't got there a lot, but once they do, nobody even close. 54-yard touchdown run, Dylan Smith, Scott County. So Riley Hall looking for a miracle. His team down 22. Under 3 minutes to go. Clay Moss with the tackle from Scott County. And the coaching staff from Pulaski County gets their sideline official, who's 37 yards away from the play, calling a late hit. Scott County get called for spearing the quarterback. And again, Mark, not referring to the legitimacy of the call. It is a good call, but there's about 3 officials that were a lot closer that didn't see it that way.
Yeah.
The penalty is a 10-ball personal foul against Scott County.
So that'll be a 15-yard penalty, be 1st down for Pulaski County. We'll let you know exactly where when the official gets started walking. It'll be at the 43-yard line.
Note Kendrick Hamilton's back on the field, Mike.
Yeah, he's got one-on-one coverage with Jake Johnson there in the left slot. And they go to Johnson. He's double-team. Eric Abney and Kendrick Hamilton drive him out of bounds. Pickup of 6 yards on the play. And that's one thing I noticed, Mark. There's not been a lot of trash talking from either teams. Both teams are just playing their games, letting their skills and their athletic ability speak for them. So a well-played game on both sides. There's no trash talking, and we see that every now and then.
Well, like I said, it's been a great high school football game.
So trips to the right.
Hall with the handoff to Conwell. He's met by Scott County's number 57, Daniel Perkins, along with number 66, Noah Kane.
I think that's how they started the game, those two, wasn't it?
Yep, so it's 3rd down and 9.
Make it 3rd and 9, Pulaski County.
So Pulaski County's going to go trips to the right again. Jalen Conwell, the lone back in the backfield right next to Riley Hall. Riley Hall looks like he's going to load it up. Here comes the pressure from Scott County. And he's run down from behind by Kendrick Hamilton. Pickup of about 2 yards. Scott County, Monty McIntyre with a 22-point lead. He's bringing the house.
He's not going to let him sit back there and pick him apart.
So 4th down and a long 6 yards for Pulaski County. Clock getting ready to go under a minute. 53-31. Great football game here tonight. Like we said earlier, final score doesn't reflect the evenness of teams. Scott County's just made a couple of bigger plays here in the second half. Hall's pass almost intercepted by Dylan Smith. Kendrick Hamilton with the deflection.
And right there, that's where you'd like to see Hall tuck that and run a little bit, because that was double coverage he tried to thread that needle into, and that's asking a lot of Jake Johnson to try to pull that down against two athletes the caliber of Kendrick Hamilton and Keith Guy.
So good job by the Scott County defense. They bent there a little bit, but they pretty much dominated this 4th quarter. 41 seconds to go. Scott County is going to win the ball game. Pulaski County will host Russell County next week. Scott County will host Fort Thomas Highlands. The last time they played up at Highlands, Fort Thomas Highlands beat Scott County by a comfortable margin, but Fort Thomas is a little bit down, and I tell you what, we thought this one was good. Next week has the potential to be just as good as Fort Thomas Highlands, 4A state champs for 22 times. So Josh Davis takes the knee. We're going to see if they let the clock run out before they start it. Nope, Scott County's got to run one more play. So again, a special shout out to the Kentucky National Guard. Tonight's game, the battle of the week. And Scott County is going to be victorious. Your final score is going to be Scott County 53, Pulaski County 31 here on the Scott County Sports Network. We'll stay here for a minute and watch the handshakes. Both teams, again, class acts. So that really goes back to the coaching staff and especially the head coaches, Coach Jim McKee and the Pulaski County head coach, John Hines. They teach the kids how to play football, and they let their athletic ability speak for them on the field. Not a lot of trash talking, or at least not to the point where it's evident up here. Again, Scott County's Tyler Dumrell struggled in the middle of the ball game kicking extra points, but seems to have got that fixed by going to a little bit shorter step. So Scott County continues to roll, 53-31. They move to 2-0. Pulaski County, the defending 5A state champs, their record goes to 1-1. Like I said earlier, Pulaski County hosts Russell County. Scott County hosts Highlands next Friday night. So we'll do this. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back for the postgame show. We'll have the final stats. Coach McKee will come up and talk to us as well here on the Scott County Sports Network. Back after this.
Hi, I'm David Goldman with Georgetown Family Chiropractic. Are backaches and headaches a problem for you? They shouldn't be. Drugs and surgery may mask the pain, but seldom treat the underlying cause. Spinal decompression works to ease pressure between discs without injections and without surgery. Don't learn to live with the pain, and don't let it limit your lifestyle. Call us today for a free evaluation. 866-807-8611.
Hi, Dick Stockton here. I've been announcing sports for over 40 years, and I know a winning team when I see one. Greens Toyota of Lexington has what it takes to win, which is why Greens is Kentucky's #1 Toyota dealer 2 years running. Family owned for over 40 years, Greens strives to give excellent customer service and best value for the dollar. No matter what department, parts, service, or sales, Greens continues to move forward doing business the right way every day. Be a part of Greens' winning team. Greens Toyota. Great people, great cars. Think green.
By Kentucky National Guard member is from Scott.
Well, there's a big name in cars that we all know.
Over 40 years, and Frank Shoup in Georgetown is still a big name in cars.
Georgetown means great cars, great local sports, great people, and Galvin's, a great place where friends meet for great Galvin's food. Galvin's voted the best local restaurant in Georgetown. Enjoy a great specialty sandwich from Philly cheesesteaks to Strombolis. Bring the whole family. Watch the big games on the big screens. You'll watch the game. We'll make the munchies like our signature pizzas and home-cut potato chips. Galvin's on Main Street next to the courthouse. Join us on Facebook for all the latest Galvin's.
Welcome back to the Scott County Sports Network. Mike Ritchie, Mark Walls. Great football game. Your final score, Scott County 53, Pulaski County 31. And again, the sportsmanship continues as both teams get together at the 40-yard line. Your student athlete of the week, sponsored by the Kentucky National Guard for Pulaski County, Riley Hall. And for Scott County, Noah Hughes. And then the Kentucky National Guard most valuable player from Scott County, Mr. Keith Guy. So congratulations to those three gentlemen. Well-deserved. Honor for all three of those guys. So now we'll go into the scoring plays. We already talked about the scoring plays in the first half, so we'll just recap the scoring plays in the second half. Scott County on the board first, 6:41 to go in the third quarter. Noah Hughes, a 2-yard touchdown run. Tyler Demmer's kick failed. 10-play, 45 yards, 4 minutes, 16 seconds off the clock, 33-21 Scott County. Pulaski County back in the scoring column at 3 minutes, 2-second mark in the third quarter. Jalen Conwell, 19-yard run. Burgett's kick is good. 3 plays, 60 yards, 35 seconds off the clock. 33-28 Scott County. Scott County scores with 57 seconds to go in the third quarter. Jordan Darnell, 71-yard touchdown pass from Josh Davis. Tyler Dummer kick misses again. 4 plays, 77 yards, just under 2 minutes on the scoring drive. 39-28 Scott County. Pulaski County scores first in the fourth quarter. Derek Burgett, a 25-yard field goal attempt. 14 plays, 71 yards, 3:35 to go. 39-31 Scott County. Scott County scores the last 2 touchdowns of the ball game. The first one, 7:26 mark to go in the fourth quarter. Keith Guy, 28-yard one-handed catch from a pass from Josh Davis. Tyler Dummer's kick is good. 5 plays, 54 yards, 1:56 off the clock. 46-31 Scott County. The final score of the ball game, Dylan Smith, a 54-yard touchdown run. A nice play by the Scott County running back. Tyler Dummer's kick is good. 6 plays, 85 yards when Scott County needed it. Took 3 minutes and 6 seconds off the clock. That gets us to the final score, Scott County 53, Pulaski County 31. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back with the governor. He'll go over the team stats and individual stats. And also, Coach McKee will join us for the postgame show here on the Scott County Sports Network. Back after this.
Time for oral surgery. You need a surgeon you can trust and feel at home with. Consider Dr. Robert Henderson at Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery. Specializing in wisdom teeth extraction, surgery to prepare for dentures, biopsies, corrective jaw surgery, TMJ disorders, and dental implants. All outpatient procedures are performed right here in our office. We participate with most insurance, we offer care credit, and take care of all the paperwork. Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery will give you a lot to smile about.
Scott County Physical Therapy is a privately owned physical therapy practice specializing in outpatient orthopedics, sports and industrial rehab, neurological rehabilitation, low back pain, neck pain, and arthritic conditions. Our mission is to provide the highest quality physical therapy to assist each individual and the community at large. Scott County Physical Therapy, a journey to wellness. To contact the physical therapist and Scott County Physical Therapy, please dial 502-863-4242. Scott County Physical Therapy is the title sponsor for Scott County Athletics.
Welcome back to Toyota Stadium, where your Cardinals victorious tonight 53-31 over Pulaski County. Looking at the team stats, first downs, looking at Pulaski County 21 for the game. They had 30 rushing attempts for 111 yards, 338 total passing yards, 18 of 35. Total offensive plays, 65 for 449 yards total. Kickoff returns, they had 2 for 24 yards. Punts, they were 4 for 36. On penalties, they had 5 penalties for 31 yards for the game. They had the ball a little over 19 and a half minutes. Third down conversions, they were only 6 of 14, which really hurt them in the game. Fourth down, they were 1 of 3, and they were 5 of 6 when they got in the red zone. Looking at Scott County, 23 first downs, 60 carries for 443 yards, another 149 passing on 4 of 6 attempts. So 66 total offensive plays, over 500 yards at 592 for Scott County. Big game on the offensive side of the football. 3 punt returns for a total of 2 yards. They had 3 kickoff returns for 58 yards. They had 3 punts for 31 yards, 2 fumbles, but they recovered them both. Penalties, they were 8 for 71. Coach McKee not going to be too happy about the total number. The yardage didn't hurt him too bad. 28 and a quarter on minutes of for time of possession. 8 of 12 third downs, which was good. 4 of 4 in the red zone. So Scott County, once again, once they get in the red zone, they are productive as they're at 100% this year for the red zone. Looking at individual totals, rushing, Jalen Conwell, 16 carries for 88 yards, 2 touchdowns. For Pulaski County, Riley Hall had 11 carries for a net of 19 yards. Mason Helton had 2 carries for 4 yards and 1 touchdown. George Gregory had 1 carry and no yards. Riley Hall passing was 18 of 35 for a total of 338 with 1 touchdown. Receiving, Jake Johnson, big game, 11 receptions, 150 yards, 1 touchdown. Michael Helton had 3 catches for 63. Jason Conwell had 2 receptions for 47 yards. Trevor Ridenour, 1 reception for 65. Punting, George Gregory had 3 punts for 108 yards, averaged 36 yards a punt. Jake New had 1 punt for 39. Kick returns, Conwell had 2 for 24. Defensive side of the ball, Jake New had 8 unassisted tackles and 3 assists for a total of 9.5. And Holman had 4 unassisted tackles, 5 assists for a total of 6.5. Now for the victorious Cardinals on the offensive side of the ball, Keith Guy, big game, 20 carries, 163 yards, 2 touchdowns, averaging a little over 8 yards a carry. Kendrick Hamilton, 6 carries, 105 yards, 1 touchdown, averaging 17.5 yards a carry. Noah Hughes, 21 carries, 98 yards, 2 touchdowns. Dylan Smith, 5 carries, 63 yards, 1 touchdown, 12.6 average. Josh Davis, another good game at quarterback, 4 of 6, 149 yards, 2 TDs. Receiving, Jordan Darnell had 1 reception, 71 yards, touchdown. Glenn Covington, 1 reception for 43 yards. Keith Guy, 1 reception, the 28-yard magical run with the touchdown. And Kendrick Hamilton had 1 catch for 7 yards. Josh Davis had 3 punts tonight for a total of 92 yards, averaging almost 31 yards a kick. Dylan Smith had 3 returns for 2 yards. Kick returns, Keith Guy had 1 for 41. For 41, average of 22 yards. Keyshawn Brent, 1 return for 17. On the defensive side, Tyler Braxton, big game, 6 unassisted tackles, 2 assisted for a total of 7. Eric Abney had 6 unassisted for the Cardinals. Your Cardinals, once again, come out victorious in a really good high school football game, 53-31 over Pulaski County.
All right, at this time, we'd like to bring in the head coach for Scott County, Jim McKee. And, Coach, first of all, your thoughts of the ball game.
Well, it was these games are great for you when you win because you can say, boy, I played somebody good, and we did everything we needed to do, didn't get anybody seriously hurt, and exposed our weaknesses. And then in the back of your mind, you're really saying, and we won.
Yeah.
And so, obviously I'm glad to win. I'm very glad to win. And we've played against a lot of good quarterbacks. I know in 1998, a long time ago, had a really good team here and probably still the best offensive and defensive line that we had ever had here. Mm-hmm. And Henry Clay had Shane Boyd.
Yep.
There we go.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
All right, we got beat. And but he's got to be up in the upper echelon of quarterbacks that we've gone against. And, I thought that the receiver is really good too. They had 2 and 7, and we had 2.
Yep.
Our number 2.
Yep.
He was really good, didn't you think?
Was very,
he made a great catch over here in the flat. And guys, I did it at Harrison County. I played both ways. But our coaches, God love them. I loved them, and Greg Graham. But they realized that we had 6 or 7 guys going both ways, and it was physically impossible to go as hard as we make these kids go then.
Right.
Kendrick and Dylan both did great. I'm not taking anything away from them. But, they had to come out of the game some. Keith never asked out.
Yep. And the one time where he kind of got banged up there on that play, he was able to
get
get
away
away
from his eye.
Was it?
Yeah, he got something in his eye.
He got away from trainer Dan before he got out there.
Get away from the trainer. You have to come out.
And then he comes up and makes that one-handed play.
And then he bailed us out on one drive early in the second half, he just bailed us out.
Yep.
You know, I went to the well once too often on a belly sweep. They had him hemmed in, and he really played well.
Yeah, one of the things I was going to ask you about, Coach, it seems like all the running backs did a good job. A lot of times, especially the younger running backs, when they kind of go to the outside, they want to get to the outside. Our guys seemed very happy to not try to outrun that outside contain guy and just cut it back up and did a great job.
Well, you're right, and that's what makes a good running back in this offense. You know, the first thing that's got to happen in this offense is our halfbacks have got to be able to block because they're involved so much in they're the key block at the point of attack on the buck sweep, which is to the tight side, and on the belly sweep, which is to the open side. So, A, they got to be able to block, and then you're right. B, you know, it's not like running zone where you run and look for the hole. You have to understand the concept of the play and how we're blocking it and where the holes will be to get your initial charge. And then after you get your initial charge, obviously, natural ability takes over.
And I think, you know, a lot of it has to do with the natural ability of your specialty players.
I knew we were faster than they were.
Yep.
You know, that was the biggest thing when I watched them on film. And I know Coach Hines, we coached in an all-star game together last year, and he does a tremendous job. If you really follow high school football closely, their middle school, Northern Pulaski Middle, has been really, really good for the last 6 or 8 years. They all lift weights during the day. Lots of their kids are held back and older. You know, he really does a good job.
Right.
And when I watch, I'm looking for weakness. Well, they really didn't have a lot of weaknesses on offense or defense in terms of what they were doing schematically. But the thing that just kept jumping off to me is we're a lot faster than them.
And, you know, hats off to your offensive line. That was one of the question marks.
I have to watch them, Mike. You know, but it seemed like they blocked okay, didn't it?
Did a good job, I thought, letting them kind of they were keeping containment on their guy, it looked like, from up here, and allowed your skill players kind of to make the moves to get the big gains.
When we look on this thing here, it says we rushed for 443 yards. So, and I was a little bit surprised, and I don't know if, of course, you all hadn't had the luxury that I have of watching their previous tapes, but they were much more aggressive in their previous tapes with their safeties. And I thought they played us tonight in a manner in which, you know, they were kind of satisfied with giving us the 4 or 5 yard plays and trying to not let us get away from them.
Right.
And I tell you who else I thought played well, and I don't know if you all commented on it, but I laughed down there with Clay. I said, Clay, your second game at Fort Thomas Highlands, you threw a pick six, another interception. He hauled the ball around. We're talking crazy on the sideline. I said, I'm lucky I didn't get arrested for hitting you and cursing at you. I'm lucky I'm your dad, or the principal would have probably fired me.
Yeah.
And I said, but look what Josh did tonight. Now, when we were up 6-0, he let the guard knock the ball out of his hand, and that was big. We should have gone ahead 14-0 to start the daggone game. But other than that, he got the ball to the right people.
Yep.
He didn't force a couple throws, and he's pretty fast.
Yeah,
took off and ran, and then I thought, they finally started rotating their secondary, and the first play they rotated their secondary, we actually jumped off sides, and the very next play after is when we sent the tight end down the middle.
Yep.
Because I couldn't get the tight end down the middle if they're going to sit both the safeties on the hashes.
Right.
But they finally rotated him down, and we got him down the middle. Josh put it right here.
Yeah, we've talked about Josh Davis all year long. When you mention his name up to this point, I know it's only 2 games of body of work, but when we mention his name, it's positive. There's, and the other big play he made is when Noah Hughes uncharacteristically coughed it up. Josh Davis was the one that ran and got it, so a big play there as well.
Yeah. He just – he was 4 of 6 for 149 yards and 2 touchdowns. And, you never know. That's something that I really like about our offense more so than other offenses. I believe that it allows you to take advantage of whatever the particular defense is giving you that night. And, Josh took advantage of some things.
And we called it out up here. The biggest thing, I think, from an offensive perspective is your skill players are happy to see everybody have success.
You have to be.
And that fourth quarter there, you got Noah Hughes. They were letting that fullback dive go. He got 10 yards about 4 times in the row, and I thought that was huge.
And I talked with him after the Louisville Central scrimmage, and I'll just use Josh as an example. And when I had him in there after film, first off, they have all got – they got good parents, but they also got parents. And they got people at the school, and they got Johnny down the street, and they got the Little League guy, and they got 1,000 people talking to them. And I said, the first thing you have to do is quit caring about yourself.
Yep.
And I'll use Josh as an example because, I don't know if you went to Louisville Central, but I think he completed 1 pass.
Right.
He had a fumble and a pick. And I said, you got to quit caring about passing.
Yep.
When you quit caring about passing and you start managing the team, the passing will come.
Right.
In the last 2 weeks, the passing's come. But, like he really wants to be good, and he's practiced really hard, and he's conditioned, and he's gone to camp, and he's done all that stuff, and he's got all these grand plans of what he's going to do. And then when it doesn't happen in the first little bit of the first game, a 15-year-old's going to pressure himself. I said, quit caring about passing. Who cares?
Yeah, and it seems like the game's slowing down for him a little bit as well.
And for me.
Yeah.
The only thing that I look back for people that I coached and the people on our staff coached 15 years ago, the only thing I wish is I could have been a better coach, because they wanted to win as much as these kids do, and we do a lot better job now than we did 10 or 12 years ago. And that's another thing. We have a tremendous coaching staff.
Yep.
And, Scott Willard's an outstanding coach. William Barber played here. Chris Travis played here. Monty played here. Mario played here. And I'm leaving people out.
Sure.
But that's a lot of it, too.
Now, Coach, we spent a lot of time talking offense and your skilled players on the offensive side, but I thought Coach Monty had a great scheme. It seemed like he wasn't going to be content of kind of sitting there and letting Riley Hall pick you guys apart.
I don't think he can be. I just don't think that's our mentality.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's his mentality. And I think you have to be who you are. You have to be who you are in your life, and, you have to be who you are as a football coach. If you try to mimic somebody else, I don't think you're going to be very successful. And he has an aggressive personality, and he believes in blitzing and going after them, and that's what he wanted to do, and that's what he did. And the kid got away sometimes.
Yep.
But we also got him sometimes. Yep. And we made some big stops. I don't know about you all, and we're not referees, and they fine everybody in America for criticizing the referees, and I'm not going to criticize these guys, but I thought the daggone guy was down back there on the fourth down.
Yeah.
I thought he had the forward progress stop, and I was like, and you know how you say to yourself, because I love to win, but I hate to lose more.
Right.
I can't just the losing runs the whole weekend, runs the next week. I'm grumpy with Cade, and when we came in there and hit him and we stopped him, I said to myself, we got him. We won. We got him. Heck, he flipped the ball to the quarterback.
Mark was saying he actually stopped his momentum twice.
I thought so too.
Yeah,
I thought so too. But they officiated a good game. That's just my point. Is that's how much a close game like this can change.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we stuff them right there, I feel really good about having the ball on their 40 or so. We probably go on in and end it. Instead, they drive, but we do end up holding them and hold them to a field goal.
Yeah, and the last drive when you needed it, we were talking about how much pride y'all take in clock management. You ran 3 minutes 6 seconds off the clock and put the game out of reach there.
And that was another good thing that Josh did. I don't know if y'all watched him, but somebody on the sideline was yelling, "Take a timeout." I said, he's watching the play clock, and he was snapping it at about 2.
Yeah.
So he did a really good job there.
So, Coach, a good game for you. Sorry to interrupt, but the last thing I wanted to ask you is, I'm not Bill Needle yet, but I'm trying. But the last thing I want to ask you, up here it looked like I was really proud of the sportsmanship from both teams. Both teams were well coached, but there wasn't a lot of jawing, it seemed like, or anything like that. Both teams let their ability speak for them, and hats off to both teams.
Were you here that night that we had that terrible fight with Lafayette?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And that's probably one of the most – and I'm not pointing fingers at Lafayette. Right. I'm accepting all the blame on our part. But it was scary, and it was – somebody came up after the game and said, you have a comment and this, whose fault was this? I was like, guys, that's the worst – thing I've ever been a part of.
Yeah, it was a scary night.
It was scary. Who wants to be a part of that? Yeah. Who wants to go to a high school sporting event and be a part of something crazy like that? And we obviously looked at our management plan to try to make sure that doesn't happen again. Mm-hmm. But yes, there was good sportsmanship, and hats off to them for. They could have played somebody tonight and beat them 56-0, yeah. And they're trying to win the 5A state championship again. Yeah. And had credit to us, they probably won't go in a tougher atmosphere than they went in tonight.
And
all year.
Great crowd.
Great crowd. And the youth people, I didn't do it last year, and I need to do it this year. But like in 2013 when we won the championship, 21 of the 22 starters played youth league football and middle school football here.
Right.
One kid, Jameer Womack, moved in from Pennsylvania, if you remember him.
Yep.
And so that's a great thing. And I can still remember being up on the hilltop at Ingalls Stadium running around when I was 7 or 8 playing football. And so that was, hats off to Brian Hickey and those people. And I told the kids after the game, don't let anybody talk to you about Fort Thomas Highlands. Don't let anybody talk to you about this. I said, tonight, enjoy what you accomplished. Go out with your family. Go eat, your friends. Take pictures. Put it on social media, how proud you are of your teammates. Let's enjoy tonight. and we're 2-0, and we'll worry about Fort Thomas next week.
Yeah, and then a special thanks. One last comment is about the National Guard coming in.
I'm glad you brought that up.
And really doing a good job. They presented student athletes to Riley Hall, Noah Hughes, and then MVP to Keith Guy. So hats off to the National Guard being the game of the week.
And they also fed us Wednesday night after practice, which – you think, well, that's no big deal. Sometimes the kids will get on me a little bit because the basketball or baseball team at the school will have some kind of sweats. I'm like, guys, the basketball coach got about 15 pair of sweats. I got about 115.
Yeah,
I said,
a little bit different.
It's a little bit different to feed a basketball team, feed a football team. I got to feed 100-some guys. And you think, well, that's not. Well, you start adding up $300 or $400 to feed them.
Yep.
But it's something they really enjoyed, and they brought in 50 Little Caesars pizzas, and that was awesome. Setting the stuff up was awesome. That was good, and hats off to the National Guard for that. I agree.
And, great atmosphere tonight, and I think to be a great atmosphere next week is
make it bigger.
Fort Thomas Highlands comes in. And, again, you can't complain about the home schedule this year. Pulaski County got Fort Thomas Highlands, Covcath later on down the road, and then the usual Lexington schools rolling in here. So, again, 2-0, you can't be any happier, more proud of your team than that. Congratulations, and we'll be here again next week.
Well, I appreciate it, and, also a shout-out to the for example, we had to have 30 parent volunteers in a concession stand tonight.
Yeah.
Well, when Derek played, did you want to go work concessions on the biggest game of the year for 3 hours?
Probably not.
I don't.
Yep.
I didn't want to go working for Cade.
Yeah.
But, so shout out to those guys for doing that and for our people at our school that really supported us this week and making this as big an event as it can be.
All right, again,
Thank
Coach,
you.
we'll let you go. Thanks for stopping up. We'll see you next Friday night. Head coach Jim McKee, his Scott County Cardinals go to a perfect record of 2-0 with a victory over the defending 5A state champs, the Pulaski County Maroons. Final score, 53-31. So for my broadcast partner, the Governor Mark Walls, for Toby Murray, Kevin Ritchie, I'm Mike Ritchie. Thanks for watching. Have a good night, and we'll see you next Friday here on the Scott County Sports Network.